Emperor Liang was currently cultivating the bright moon longevity chant in the mountains and rivers pavilion. Crimson stars fell continuously one after another like a meteor shower. Bian City, the great Liang dynasty, and perhaps even the entire four territories could be heard letting out every kind of gasp. Emperor Liang opened his eyes and looked to the far-off Maiden Mountain, his brow furrowed. There were honestly too many crimson stars falling. Surprisingly, there were 20 or more. These starfalls are truly unprecedented. That brat has not gone berserk, has he? Emperor Liang thought to himself. He shook his head and continued to cultivate. The scene of the world froze at this moment. Song Qingxi blankly stared at the sword that had pierced through her. Her forehead's star crest flickered, her star energy ebbing in indication of her imminent starfall. Not good. And Suan pointed a slender finger, immediately activating Earth rank, mind-stealing fine rain. All of those injuries were promptly transferred to the efficacious star. Run, now, you too. Hua Shui bared its fangs, activating dazzling light mind image. Arrow hit Tiger Ding Wanjing's arrow force under heaven also attacked. After Shui Mingxi's starfall, Ding Wanjing hated Shi Xian to the bone. Although she did not comprehend heaven rank, the girl's fury was launched with 10,000 arrows. Xian Yunshang grabbed Song Qingxi and pulled back, little sister Suan. Song Qingxi used the 9-dragon seal, but this purple star astral treasure's attack was practically useless against Shi Xian. Thinking of running? Shi Xian sneered, slaying Hua Shui with one strike and breaking Ding Wanjing's arrows. Wu Xinjie's 8 gates black gold chains obstructed her, but these were easily shredded. Only when Hunyangzi used these feelings our endless lasso to barely see Shi Xian did Song Qingxi finally find a chance to flee. Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao quickly rushed over, looking at Shi Xian with stern expressions. Shi Xian was high above, squinting her eyes in an innocuous smile. What a pity, what a pity. Little sister. Su Xing held the collapsed Suan, his expression extremely devastated. Big brother, Suan wanted to say something encouraging. Return to the star nest for now. Su Xing promptly said. Leave the rest to me. Suan groaned and entered the star nest. This is only the first one, Shi Xian lazily raised her claymore. As she spoke, she severed the red string, slashing at Hunyangzi. The second, Wu Xiao and Lin Yingmei hastily flew over to stop her. Su Shengxiang, you will not die an easy death. Following his wretched curse, Zhao Heng was sucked into the 10,000 souls parasol to suffer refinement. Just like this, Lady Snake Scorpion, Yan Wudao, Gong Song, Yi Futu, the Rock Demon King and others were refined into the 10,000 souls parasol one after another by Su Shengxiang, becoming part of her dark rebirth devouring cultivation method. These once jeering and arrogant star masters of Liangshan continent, these people could even have become Overlord, now all became tools to bolster Su Shengxiang's power. Hearing those resentful curses, Su Shengxiang opened the parasol, walking barefoot cheerfully over the dunes. After absorbing the star energies of so many powerful star masters, Su Shengxiang's cultivation had astonishingly already reached supervoid peak. The 10,000 souls parasol was even more arrogant and overbearing. The Yu Plains was enveloped in boundless darkness. Su Jingshu was doing her utmost to ward off the assault of the 10,000 souls. Golden Lancer's treasure armor had already lost its brilliance, her entire person beginning to dim. Humi, quickly run. Su Jingshu continued to stall. The Humi who was already at the end of her rope used the supreme ultimate diagram, but she could barely even defend. Su Shengxiang lifted her head to look at the sky, counting the crimson stars on her rosy fingers. Surprisingly, there are still a dozen star masters. This is not enough for the 7 stars uprising. Su Shengxiang wrinkled her brow. There were even more star masters than she had imagined, and she did not know just how many followed the purple thunder monster. Originally, when she saw that Su Xing and Humi's relationship was not bad, she wanted to let her go. However, she now saw that this was unnecessary. The count of star masters was still too high. There would be no other chances for the 7 Stars Assembly's quota. Forgive me, Fairy Fox of voracious admiration. Su Xingxiang nodded, black smoke billowing out of the 10,000 Souls parasol. Su Jingshu used her own body to obstruct the 10,000 Souls parasol, but Su Xingxiang shook her head. Su Xingxiang, do you think Su Xing will let you go when you are so insidious? Humi coldly said. Xingxiang only wants to ascend Maiden Mountain. Is fighting for my own opportunity somehow wrong? Su Xingxiang sighed, very depressed. You. And yet you did not fight for your own opportunity. Humi Xingxiang sees that you clearly could have become a member of that man's harem, yet when the time came, you chose to be his enemy. You have only yourself to blame for choosing the wrong path. Su Xingxiang charmingly winked. Xingxiang would never have chosen wrong. The 10,000 souls attacked, practically chewing Su Jingshu to pieces. Jingshu. Humi's heart ached, and a glimmering tear rolled down her cheek. What is that escape technique this monster used, so fast? Xie Chang'an finally hurried to Seven Worthies Forest, in disbelief at Su Xing's bloodlight escape technique. Could that be the legendary chaotic tail? Just as Xie Chang'an thought this, he suddenly sensed a large number of crimson stars fall behind him. Carefully counting them, there were surprisingly more than 6. That Su Xingxiang is treacherous, as expected, Xie Chang'an sneered. Your Highness. Huyen Shuang suddenly furrowed her brow. Xie Chang'an immediately very flabbergasted upon seeing the scene before him. What in the world is this? A couple dozen star generals were fighting a war against 4 women. One side filled the skies with arrow light, firing back and forth. The other was full of wind, thunder, water, and fire overturning heaven and covering the earth. There were also 2 women in Buddhist garb trading punches as heavy as Mount Tai. Even from several thousand meters away, he could feel pressure. As expected, the person that Xie Chang'an was most concerned about was still Su Xing himself. Su Xing, Lin Chong, Wu Song, Hu Sanyang, and Wu Yong were all currently facing one woman. That woman's figure was slender, wearing brocade and armor, beaming from ear to ear, but that claymore dancing in her hands was practically complete darkness. The top-notch martial generals Wu Song and Lin Chong were surprisingly suppressed. That woman seems to be very powerful, but just who are they? What is happening? Unexpectedly, even the 7-star Lin Chong cannot defeat her. Xie Chang'an was incredulous. Your Highness, what do we do? Seeing that powerful opponent, Huyen Shuang was somewhat restless. Xie Chang'an felt that there was nothing remarkable when he saw that Su Xing was surprisingly able to match that woman for 100 bouts. This time, we will help the Purple Thunder monster. In the later 7 Stars Uprising, this will be fine. They were already unable to defeat the Purple Thunder monster anyways, so it would be better to be straightforward with their goodwill. Furthermore, Shuanger, you must want to fight a war. Xie Chang'an smiled. I happen to have this intent. Xie Chang'an and Huyen Shuang immediately moved to attack Shixian. At this time, Xian Lao also reached Seven Worthies Forest, but her idea of friend and foe was different from Xie Chang'an. The expressionless woman merely stared, resentment flickering in her eyes. This woman is too powerful. Wu Xinjie had never met such a strong opponent. Lin Yingmei's strength was second only to the previous overlord across all of the past star duels. Add on true Phoenix martial generals like Wu Xiao and Hu Nyangzi, even if they ran into Hu Banzwang now, they would have absolute power to win. But against Shixian, if it was not for Lin Yingmei doing everything she could to inhibit Shixian, Wu Xinjie practically could see them dying to that sword. That Phoenix splitter sword was too strange. True Phoenix martial generals practically held no advantages before this sword. Die, for the sake of avenging Mingxi. Ding Wanjing still was continuously launching arrows at Shixian. It was thanks to her arrows that Shixian was unable to completely display her own martial arts. Shixian felt irritated, slashing at her. A bloodlight saved Ding Wanjing again. You're no match for her. Calm down a bit. Su Xing saw this berserk girl and rebuked her. I want to avenge Mingxi. Ding Wanjing felt her blood boil. Just a little more, and she could comprehend heaven rank. Don't stop me. Ding Wanjing shoved Su Xing away, continuing to fire arrow force under heaven again and again at Shi Xian. Su Xing was left with no choice but to protect her. His exceptional martial arts could barely ward off Shi Xian as he pulled Ding Wanjing around in evasive maneuvers. Watch Wanjing's heaven rank. Ding Wanjing finally sensed the structure of her destined weapon's heaven rank. With delight in her heart, she did not hesitate to activate it. Ding Wanjing pointed at the sky. Innumerable arrows flew into the heavens, and the sky was immediately pitch black. In that pitch-black darkness, countless starlights glimmered. The girl then pulled her hand back, as if she was pulling apart the sky like a curtain. The stars filling the sky immediately fell. That feeling was like the entire starry sky had become a weapon of fury in her hands. Heaven-rank stars falling from heaven. This girl's heaven rank was honestly too violent. Su Xing was left with no choice but to withdraw. The dreadful attack made Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao unable to avoid temporarily pulling away from Shi Xian. When the 10,000 arrows descended, the Milky Way seemed to fall on Shi Xian's head, covering the woman. Revenge for Mingxi. Ding Wanjing finished her heaven rank and was already completely exhausted. At this moment, she caught sight of sick tiger Shui Mingxi's star weapon, good and evil karma banner. Sniffling and choking with sobs, she walked over to retrieve the star weapon. Shit! Su Xing felt ominous when he saw her lower her guard. He once again used the chaotic tail escape, but this time, Shi Xian was even faster. Bloodlight pierced through Ding Wanjing's body, instantly killing her. Shi Xian was angry. He Gemin crosses the land unimpeded. Su Xing looked at the Shi Xian so close at hand and used the purple brilliant reclining moon blade's earth rank. An unrivaled power burst out and made Su Xing unstoppable. Shi Xian used her sword to block, surprisingly unable to ward the blow off. Purple thunder monster, how about this highness helps you? Just at this moment, an arrogant voice came from the side. Xia Chang'an appeared, the 6 patriarchs Saraira protecting his body alongside the 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection, a spectacular sight. Huyen Shuang was beside him, raising wind and moon unmatched, gracefully using them as whips, drawing them down elegantly. You idiot! Leave now! Su Xing cursed. The arrogant Xia Chang'an basically had no room to respond. Shi Xian bounded over with a single step, once again using no return. Enough, she had had enough of the provocations from these stupid men. His surroundings all vanished. Xia Chang'an fundamentally did not have martial force like Su Xing's that could defend against a true Phoenix martial general, but Xia Chang'an still was considerably confident. His 6 patriarchs platform Sutra Saraira was the supreme power of Buddhism, and with the 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection, even Lin Chong could not possibly kill him so easily. All of his magnificent ideas and delusions were ended alongside his arrogance by the Phoenix Splitter's slash. The 6 patriarchs Saraira were directly disintegrated by her killing intent. This great magic weapon formed from supervoid cultivators could not withstand a single blow, let alone the 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection. The colored glass world promptly collapsed. Xia Chang'an was somewhat in disbelief. Shi Xian hated men, especially those with self-aggrandizing gazes. Therefore, she took Xia Chang'an's head with a single swing, then hacked this head to pieces with another. Your Highness, Huyen Shuang vomited blood. Her eyes dimmed, and she nearly fainted. The next instant, Shi Xian ruthlessly ended the girl's grief. Prestige star, Starfall. Liked it? This Shi Xian is too abnormal. Su Xing panted. Having taken Arrow-hit Tiger's heaven rank and killed the prestige star, Shi Xian still showed no signs of defeat at all. Meanwhile, on his side, Wu Xiao and Hun Yangzi were already too exhausted, no longer threats. Just what is this woman's realm? Su Xing flipped open 2 birth outlines. The 2 birth outlines glowed, yet she was still a mystery. Lord Su, take your servants as well. Song Qingxi threw her own birth treasure outline. Finally, with 3 of them, some of Shi Xian's information was displayed. Star position, slaughter star name, Shi Bao nickname, smiling killing immortal true name, Shi Xian star number. Star weapon, Phoenix splitter, star beast, Nun realm, true Phoenix 10th stage, peak, innate skill, Phoenix restraint 5 elements, fire yellow rank technique, broken destiny dark rank technique, no return earth rank technique, super kill heaven rank technique, final blood grounds current status, detailed materials. True Phoenix 10th stage. Su Xing was dumbstruck when he saw this. He thought that the realms only went up to 9th stage, but Shi Xian surprisingly reached the peak of 10th stage. Could it be that what lay above True Phoenix was Emperor Star? No wonder Shi Xian killed so easily, her attacks unstoppable. The difference in realms was honestly too large. And that innate skill Phoenix restraint, from a glance, this was a very ominous existence. Damn it. Su Xing understood why Chao Wuhui used so much effort in the past, but this woman honestly was too fierce. The Shi Xian who was struck with several heaven ranks in succession was already a bit less easygoing than when she first started, but she still had enough room to show her own incredible prowess. On the other hand, that Su Xing was unexpectedly able to defend against several of her strikes made her very surprised. There will not be a next time. Shi Xian raised the Phoenix splitter, narrowing her eyes, asserting with a small grin. Your concubine will not allow you a next time either. A cold and elegant figure obstructed in front of her. Wu Xiao's eyes as deep as the cosmos could suck anyone inextricably in. The woman spoke with detachment and resolve. A bloodlight flashed, forcing Wu Xiao away again. Lin Yingmei raised her spear and advanced. Lord husband. Wu Xiao arrived in front of Su Xing, be careful. Su Xing secretly prepared the 5 dragons lantern and the Liangshan seal for an attack. Wu Xiao smiled and suddenly kissed Su Xing. With their hot kiss stirring her passion, Wu Xiao was very quickly already seemingly drunk. Her cheeks were a slight red hue, her expression charming to the bone. Heaven Earth dark yellow skill, do not laugh laying drunk on battlefield. Interesting, 7 Worthies village, nearby, listening Dao mountain. 2 women were currently staring fixedly at the intense battle below. One woman dressed in golden armor was dignified and mighty, but her eyes were full of worry. The woman beside her was flippant and heedless, but she bore a domineering aura. Can it be that you still do not wish to intercede? Chao Gai looked at the woman in front of her, wondering if she was actually drunk or faking. She was completely without worry at all. Song Qingxi's uprising was nearly completely done for. If it was not for Su Xing's timely intervention, Chao Wuhui would have been unable to endure. So long as you can kill Shi Xian and allow Song Qingxi to scale the mountain, the star duels can end. Chao Gai continued. Against Shi Xian, this one fears that only you are capable of contending against her. If you want me to help you, then first tell me everything about these star duels. Otherwise, your servant will not interfere in the star duels, even if these star duels cannot end. Konghou seemed drunk, but her mind was nevertheless very lucid. Chao Gai wanted to use the phrases Sister Qingxi and end the star duels to rattle her, but that was a bit ridiculous. Chao Gai was silent for a moment. She watched Shi Xian's massacre. No one could stop her. In the end, she said, as you have seen, Star World has millions of star names, but those that are Emperor Star can be counted on fingers. Star World's great song Empress flaunts herself as the ancestor of Star World. She received the Xuannu of Ninth Heaven Star Duel Heavenly Book, and thus used this book to initiate the star duels. Seeing Konghou show an interested expression, Chao Wuhui said, but the use of this Xuannu of Ninth Heaven's Heavenly Book was somewhat harsh. At the time of the start, she must find 108 star maidens from Star World who are able to inherit star names and place their true spirits inside Liangshan continent. Only in this way can their development be hastened, to reach a realm like yours. True spirit, you are saying our existences are traces of true spirit? Konghou was a bit skeptical. Precisely. Now I realize I am what I am. Heavenly solitary star Lu Shaking has already comprehended this idea. Star maidens are merely true spirits. Their true bodies are still within Star World's Xuannu heavenly book array. After an overlord climbs the mountain, Empress can exploit this true body to control these people. Konghou was quiet. Then your servant must be dead. Chao Gai was silent. And afterwards? Why do we star duel? Wu Konghou continued to drink her wine. She wanted to intoxicate herself even further, but her consciousness was nevertheless becoming clearer and clearer. Song Qingzi has the Heavenly Star Birth Banner and the Justice on Heaven's Behalf Uprising Banner. If these two things appear in Star World, she can make the millions of star names cower in fear. The Empress' greatest enemy is any place is home, Her Highness Fang Mojia. For a unified Star World, she will need Song Jiang's power. The star duels are merely a portion of the ceremony that can actually lead to, well, this one is not very clear about these either, so this is what lies beyond. Chao Wuhui spoke of everything she knew about the star duels. Now that things had reached this point that was only a step away from the final star duel, there was no use hiding anything anymore. Your servant has another 2 questions. Konghou licked her lips. What questions? Why is this generation's Song Jiang capable of the uprising when the others have never shown any sign of it? Song Jiang must first defeat a sister in order to initiate the uprising. The past Song Jiangs completely lacked any martial force, so the uprising could not occur. However, the Xuannu of 9th Heaven's heavenly book treats 9 as an end. Perhaps it was only in these 9th star duels that it could finally begin. Chao Wuhui was not clear on the particulars of this either. Fine, this is convincing enough for the time being. Wu Konghou then asked her next question. This time, her gaze wandered unfathomably and indeterminately over Su Xing's body. Then why is Su Xing able to contract with so many sisters? Is he also something Star World has arranged? Chao Gai looked at Su Xing. She herself honestly thought this man had come from Star World. You will have to ask him about this. Your servant never imagined that the star duels would be so simple. Star World is a power struggle, meaning that the enemy the Empress fears most is that sleeping girl. Wu Konghou's line of sight locked onto Fang Mojia. That peaceful sleeping posture truly made her feel restless. Chao Gai was worried upon hearing her, do not be rash. Fang Mojia is an emperor star. You are no match for her. Her realm has already surpassed True Phoenix. If it was not for Fang Mojia's nature being on the temperate side, killing you all would be as easy as turning her hand over. Fortunately, Su Xing has brought about doubt in Fang Mojia. Only because of this will there be a chance to end the star duels this time, surpass True Phoenix realm? What realm is that? Wu Konghou's eyes glimmered. Xuannu realm. The highest realm in Star World. Chao Gai was stern, the enemy before them is Shi Xian. She is 10th stage peak, the one most qualified to step into the Emperor stars. If you do not take action, Su Xing and the others may perish here. Aya, your servant knows. After so many years wasted eating and drinking at Great Circle Castle, your servant ought to repay a bit of that. Konghou yawned, stretching out. She immediately shook off her indolence, her expression fiercer than a lion's. A glowing star weapon appeared in her hand. Konghou split it into 2 swords. Her figure warped, immediately vanishing from sight. Meanwhile, Deng Wuda was already using her heaven rank to force Lu Shaking, Shiyu, and the others back. The woman shouted, the enormous hand of her arm as thick as a pillar about to crush Lu Shaking, watch this heaven rank, just at this moment. A ray of black and white sword light flashed past. Deng Wuda had already sensed it, but her counterpart's speed was too fast. She could only barely ward it off. Sharp sword light with incomparable ferocity surprisingly inhibited the power of her heaven rank entirely. Deng Wuda was shocked. Then, a foot stepped on her, and enormous power abruptly sent her flying. By the time Deng Wuda regained her senses, a terrifying 9-star sword twisted from the left and right. White lotuses and black blood blossomed. Dang Wuda screamed, her arms severed. The woman felt disbelief. She looked at the woman who had appeared. Who are you? Her slim figure had a kind of transcendental charm, full of a leisurely ease and pressure. Konghou's hands split her twin swords, gracefully, comfortably, and lazily replying. Your servant is Wu Konghou. The 8th Overlord is in attendance. Liked it? Ever since the previous star duels, Wu Song obtained the Overlord position and was unable to scale Maiden Mountain. It was 100 years later when the star duels began again, yet Wu Konghou unexpectedly did not starfall, remaining all this time in Liangshan continent. As for what the star duels meant to her right now, Wu Konghou herself was not very sure. After finally receiving the end result of the star duels from Chao Gai today, the last shred of melancholic reluctance in Wu Konghou's finally faded away. Dang Wuda's arms had been severed. She stared angrily at Wu Konghou. The pilgrim smiled languidly. She stepped forward, jumping in front of her. Her twin swords rose to kill Dang Wuda when at this moment, a white light rolled around Dang Wuda and saved her from Wu Konghou's swords. Wu Konghou did not pursue, but she looked in the direction that the white light fled in. It was precisely towards that peaceful and quiet bamboo grove. Towards Fang Mojia. Wuda. Pang Shu was enraged, using her bow and arrow to stop Yanizhan's boxing. The girl's delicate body burst forth with inconceivable power. True phoenix wings sprouted, forcing Yanizhan back. Skillful star Yanizhan's fists became yin and yang, her 9 yin 9 yang life and death. So annoying. Pang Shu cursed, irritated. Her arrows released light, completely absorbing the power of Yanizhan's boxing yin and yang. Then, the girl furiously fired an arrow towards Yanizhan's body. Hua Wanyue simultaneously fired an arrow, but Pang Shu's arrow became a hot and cold light mid-flight, surprisingly devouring Yanizhan's power completely. Now, die. Pang Shu aimed at Yanizhan's crimson eyes. She prepared to fire an arrow at these loathsome eyes. Yanizhan was still apathetic, not showing any emotion whatsoever. The wanderer spread her arms, and a gorgeous flame ignited over her entire body. In the blink of an eye, the maid had transformed into a woman of extreme beauty. Her slender hands held 2 enormous Feng and Huang fans. On her face was a smile that could topple nations. Pang Shu, little girl is pleased to see you. Pang Shu was shocked. You are splendid star Li Shishir. Bitch that kneels before the empress, see how I shall kill you. Pang Shu continued to loose arrows. Li Shishir spread her fans, using dark technique, spread wings. After entering her psychic transformation state, Li Shishir did not have any injuries whatsoever. Her realm was also true Phoenix 5th stage. Against the current Pang Shu, she was not at a disadvantage at all. Li Shishir's Feng and Huang opened and closed, comfortably spreading like phoenix winds. Magnificent flames directly brushed aside the arrow barrage, and at the same time, she arrived right in front of Pang Shu, sweeping her fans upward in an attack. Pang Shu's true phoenix was unable to shake off Li Shishir. Li Shishir's country-destroying dance was not finished yet, however, for she used an earth rank, Feng soars the skies, for sees Si Kuang. She directly became a phoenix, taking Pang Shu into the 9 firmaments. Waves of flame pounded Pang Shui, making the girl suffer unbearably. Damn you, Li Shishir. Pang Shu was struck into the air, her body completely covered in injuries. The Feng and Huang fans practically gave the girl no room to think, but she was one of Fang Mojia's 4 marshals, after all. She had experienced countless battlefields. Even under such vile circumstances, Pang Shu still fired an arrow that forced Li Shishir back. Watch this heaven rank. The girl was furious. Heaven rank archery, heaven and earth falls, fired an arrow. A Qiankuan pattern appeared around Li Shishir that locked the splendid star down, the arrow directly piercing her heart. This arrow could destroy true spirits, let alone return them to the star nest. Li Shishir was nevertheless unfazed. The reason the splendid star had the confidence to maintain a charming smile came from behind her. Hero star Hua Wanyue was behind her. Her bow was like a full moon. She gracefully strummed her bowstring, a gentle sound. The light of a waning moon shot out from the arrow, directly cleaving apart even space. That space seemed to be like a disintegrated flower, scattering in this world. The so-called fragmenting of space was no more than that. The comet arrow shot into the formation. 9 formidable powers endlessly attacked. Even something as powerful as the Qiankuan was shattered, flabbergasting Pang Shu. Hua Wenyuez. Heaven rank, waning moon falling flower smoke layer. You think that this is able to contend against this young lady, Pang Shu sneered. Her eyes were even more penetrating, an innate skill known as finest detail that was as its name suggested, that is, allowing her to be able to fire at even the finest speck of dust with an outstanding degree of accuracy. Just as Pang Shu was preparing to activate her heaven rank again, this time, she was prepared to aim at Hua Wenyue's movements. How could Hua Wenyue let her do as she pleased? The hero star's body gracefully landed in front of her. Courting death. Pang Shu fired. An afterimage. Killing intent attacked from the surroundings, surprising Pang Shu. Hua Wenyue appeared beside her. Before she could react, another Hua Wenyue appeared from another angle, firing another 10,000-li god-killing arrow. What is happening? Pang Shu was bewildered. All around her, Hua Wenyue's figure multiplied and appeared. Each one was a fake, but the 10,000-li god-killing arrows they fired were nevertheless real and substantive. The Pang Shu who had used her heaven rank was debilitated, completely unable to defend. She looked at Hua Wenyue and was immediately overcome with grief and indignation. Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill, please accept my and milord's Heaven Earth Dark Yellow. Hua Wenyue's voice was gentle and cold, too young to have learned about sorrow. Several hundred 10,000-li god-killing arrows brimming with fury surrounded Pang Shu from every single corner of space, sealing all routes of escape the girl had. Although her powerful true phoenix realm helped Pang Shu resist greatly, death was merely a matter of time. The first arrow pierced into Pang Shu's body, followed by a second, then a third. Your Highness, save me! Pang Shu screamed in terror. A white light flashed on her body. Pang Shu suddenly vanished. Hua Wenyue ceased her Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill, her beautiful hawk-like eyes coldly gazing into the quiet world of the bamboo forest. Gong Sun Sheng, HM. If I cannot toy with your master, then toying with her disciple will be very good. Bao Nyang'er was currently facing Jiang Sun Huang continuously in star magic. The lowly's magic energy was limitless, wind, fire, and thunder continuously bursting out from her pine-brand ancient sword. Occasionally, she would strike with a hurricane, occasionally with raging flames that scorched heaven, occasionally with rolling thunder. The contest of a magic energy star general was in magic energy. Seeing Gong Sun Huang's magic energy was inexhaustible, Bao Nyang'er was somewhat afraid. No longer bothering about the pride of a magic energy star general, she used her earth rank star magic. Comet tail evaporates ocean. Flaming meteors filled the skies and fell. Gong Sun Huang's expression was still refined, still indifferent. Before the meteors fell, a resplendent starlight suddenly flew out, rolling those comets together, surprisingly counterattacking. The stars have moved. Wu Xinjie giggled, holding her heaven-concealing star fan and using her earth rank to break Bao Nyang'er's earth rank star magic. Bao Nyang'er did not expect the knowledge star to appear, which slightly astonished her. The next second, Wu Xinjie had already acted. Come witness the method that inevitably could comprehend the heaven star's heaven rank. Wu Xinjie pointed her fan. Countless bagua patterns appeared behind the girl. Then, the patterns became a mysterious array that locked Bao Nyang'er within. Heaven rank, formation of the beginning. Bao Nyang'er urged on the white dragon spirit body on her skirt, dealing with the bagua patterns. Wu Xinjie proceeded to wave her hand. Bagua continued to appear in empty space. Little Huang. Gong Sun Huang knowingly nodded, silently chanting, activating her pine-brand ancient sword. As she chanted, the air surrounding Gong Sun Huang seemed vanish in an instant. The world grew silent. With an indescribable aura of danger choking her, Baonyang'er felt a feeling of foreboding, similarly using her heaven rank. Countless evil spirit white dragon charged out from between her fingers. Baonyang'er's star weapon was somewhat strange, being 10 false fingernails, named Cold Night Spring Heart. The fingernails sparkled all at once, and the countless white dragons rushed out. Wu Xinjie immediately sensed that her own heaven rank formation of the beginning was already somewhat weakening. Finally, Gongsun Huang's heaven rank announced its completion. The world surrounding Baonyang'er abruptly dimmed. An ancient air of primordial chaos vigorously appeared, making people shudder in fear. Baonyang'er's eyes widened. A gigantic ancient divine dragon showed her head from that dark chaos. That pair of giant dragon eyes seemed able to suck in a person's soul. Its unapproachable dignity filled all things with a feeling of insignificance. Torch Dragon. Baonyang'er was alarmed, fully unleashing her magic energy. Torch Dragon extinguishing. Gongsun Huang pointed her finger. A dragon roar pierced through the 9 firmaments. The ancient flames it spewed plunged straight down upon Baonyang'er's head. Baonyang'er finally broke Wu Xinjie's heaven rank, but at this time, she was unable to escape. She could only withstand it. Countless white dragons tumbled over each other as they swarmed towards the Torch Dragon. Under the Torch Dragon's enormous might, those white dragon shadows of hers were as insignificant as tadpoles. Torch Dragon extinguishing annihilated her dragon spirits. Enveloped by flames, Baonyang'er hastily defended using her star magic. As expected of Fang Mojia's strongest magic energy star general, she surprisingly blocked the Torch Dragon extinguishing smite with her own magic energy alone. Gongsun Huang leisurely proceeded to wave her pine brand ancient sword. The Torch Dragon's breath showed no signs of ending at all. Impossible. Baonyang'er was shocked. Her clothes were disintegrated under the Torch Dragon's flames, revealing her fair and graceful body. Every inch of skin over her body was full of allure and was absolutely able to drive anyone mad, but the next moment, it was covered by the ruthless ancient dragon breath. The Torch Dragon ended its power that swept through primordial chaos, restoring the world to clarity. Gongsun Huang's forehead was drenched in perspiration. The lowly was incomparably exhausted. Little Huang, are you all right? Wu Xinjie looked at her, concerned. She is not dead. Gongsun Huang shook her head, shifting her gaze. In the verdant green bamboo forest, there was a quiet girl and a silent time and space never once disturbed. Looking at that girl, Wu Xinjie sighed, unclear whether from regret or helplessness. A blood light was cleaved open from Shixian's shoulder. Then, a second sword light similarly brought her another injury. Shixian felt surprised to see the drunken woman standing in front of her, with slightly rosy cheeks and a gaze that was honestly charming to the bone. Cold-blooded as she was, even Shixian could not help but feel a bit moved. Heaven Earth Dark Yellow Skill. Shixian looked at the numerous wounds over her body and narrowed her eyes as she smiled. Wu Xiao's Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill Do Not Laugh laying drunk on battlefield could allow her attacks to become unfathomable. Even the powerful Shixian could not defend against her completely, finally suffering a few blows. However, with her formidable realm and excellent innate skill, Shixian still held an absolute advantage. This general truly do not have the heart to kill a beauty like you, what a pity, what a pity. Wu Xiao's footwork slightly swayed, confusing watchful eyes. This general has already seen through you. Shixian lifted her sword. Phoenix Splitter let out a shrill cry, yellow rank, broken destiny. The sword's tip tracked Wu Xiao's figure. Bloodlight nipped at the pilgrim, about to devour her, but a silhouette intercepted it. With a clang, broken destiny was stopped. You, Shixian's tone was ice-cold. Su Xing smiled, standing in front of Wu Xiao. The blaze-refining 9 Hell's saber in his hand unleashed yellow technique, 9 consecutive hellfire demonic slash. 9 earthly fires exploded in succession, but they posed no threat at all to Shixian, merely somewhat dirtying her face. Wifey, let's go. Su Xing pulled the already gradually sobering Wu Xiao back, fleeing. Are you humiliating this general? Shi Xian's gaze was cold. Shi Xian, now there is only you alone. Wu Xinjie coldly shouted. Li Shishir, Hua Wanyue, Hun Yangzi, and the others surrounded Shi Xian one after another. The three other marshals of the Xianliang Shudo were already defeated. Then simply attack as you like. Shi Xian slightly smiled, raising the phoenix splitter in her hand. A kind of indescribable feeling of danger sunk straight into their bones. A sense of danger filled everyone present, as if they were prey that had been targeted. An earth rank. Wu Xinjie was alarmed. Young master, be careful. Lin Yingmei shouted. The girl's figure swayed, wielding her cold spear. Everything visible in the world turned into ice and frost under Lin Yingmei's freezing spear. A blizzard filled the skies and fell, very quickly turning Maiden Mountain's surroundings into a silvery white world. Fang Mojia slowly opened her eyes, unclear whether she had been chilled awake by this ice-cold snow world. She was amazed and impressed as she looked at the chill the girl's spear released. Even the area of the Seven Worthies forest she was occupying was surprisingly covered in layers of frost, the bamboo grove frozen solid. How formidable! Fang Mojia exclaimed. Panther head Lin Yingmei. Heaven rank. Cold dream freezes 1,000 years. Liked it? 100 kilometers away from Maiden Mountain's Seven Worthies forest, on another peak adjacent to Maiden Mountain, Xie Zhenyuan stared glumly at the path leading up, for it was being obstructed by an invisible force. Yang Luoshui said. It appears the purple thunder monster's side is not done yet. Xie Zhenyuan nodded, but he had never imagined the monster-slaying alliance would already be crushed. Now, no one else had the qualifications to stop him from becoming Overlord. No matter what, we will wait for them to exhaust themselves before entering the fray ourselves. Until the moment comes that we climb the mountain, I believe the purple thunder monster will not pursue us. Xie Zhenyuan had already determined his idea to turn this crisis into his gain, to become the last Seven Stars Assembly. Perhaps he held no significance towards becoming Overlord, but in order to obtain a change, he could only place this minuscule hope that scaling the mountain would have variables. A biting cold suddenly descended. The temperature of the world sharply plunged. Ho Rulan only felt a chill enter her bones, shrinking her little shoulders back against Xie Zhenyuan's chest. Xie Zhenyuan and Yang Luoshui were shocked and looked at one another. A layer of extreme cold rolled over, covering them in ice and frost. A heavy snowfall surprisingly descended. The season was clearly still spring, but in the blink of an eye, Maiden Mountain entered an ice-cold winter. Xie Zhenyuan could distinctly sense that this abnormal change in the seasons came from some ice-cold star maiden's handiwork. Heaven rank? Yang Luoshui was astonished. The white world made Xie Zhenyuan's expression turn even more serious. Although he did not know what was happening at that other part of Maiden Mountain, to surprisingly make Pantherhead Lin Chong use her heaven rank that was able to change the seasons, Xie Zhenyuan's mind felt even more powerless and dejected. We must climb the mountain as quickly as possible. Fearing a change in the situation, Xie Zhenyuan once again circulated his feeble star energy, rushing towards Maiden Mountain. Secure star Yang Luoshui silently turned her head back to watch her master act without integrity. That crazed manner was like an out-of-control beast. Even Ho Rulan, who was clutched against his chest, did not dare say a word. Yang Luoshui sighed. When she originally signed a contract with Xie Zhenyuan, she saw this man's nature was elegant and unyielding. Even while she was in her own heavenly prison, he still maintained absolute composure in the face of so much mockery. Now, it seemed that self-confidence was all established upon her own existence. When they became losers, was everyone unable to avoid becoming ridiculous clowns? Yang Luoshui suddenly remembered that man who rescued her from inside the lethal array. Shaking her head, Yang Luoshui dispelled this shadow from her mind. Just as she was about to step forward and stop Xie Zhenyuan from going out of control, she suddenly sensed danger at this moment. Master, look out! Yang Luoshui shouted. Xie Zhenyuan was startled. A black shadow abruptly appeared before him, chilling daggers directly aiming for his vitals. The enemy's sneak attack was extremely quick, their concealment extremely deep. No one could have anticipated this. Big brother. Ho Rulan threw herself in the way, using her body as a shield. The daggers mercilessly blossomed against the girl's neck, directly killing her. The black shadow finally revealed itself shockingly to be Guardian Star Mu Duang. To think you still have not died. Xie Zhenyuan was resentful to the extreme. Back then at 3 Clarity's field, he had used the sect-protecting array to trap and attack Mu Duang, heavily injuring her. In the end, this assassin somehow plunged out of the array, escaping with her life. However, with injuries so serious, she could not possibly live for too long. He never imagined that not only would she live for even longer, she surprisingly was looking for payback. Targeted by such an assassin, Xie Zhenyuan felt chills for the first time. Revenge for elder sister. Mu Duang continued her attack. An assassin that did not succeed at the first strike had lost their greatest advantage. Xie Zhenyuan sneered, "Fine, killing you will restore a bit of my star energy." Blade light flowed quickly. Yang Luoshui cut into Mu Duang with her sword. "Little sister, you should have run away back then." The secure star was not at all sorry that this earthly star little sister had overestimated herself. Xie Zhenyuan malevolently smiled, "Kill her. To take an assassin like this would be a considerable gain." Just as Yang Luoshui was about to deliver the finishing blow, Mu Duang tottered blankly. Fearing she was about to use another trick, Yang Luoshui used Heavenly Prison to firmly trap her. The Xie Zhenyuan who was pulling back in preparation to use a hand seal abruptly felt a chill on his back. A shining dagger stabbed through his spine, breaking out of his internal organs, spraying blood. His blood ran cold. Xie Zhenyuan's smile ended spontaneously. He looked in disbelief at the dagger tips jutting out from his chest, then turned to look at the assassin who had been cut down by Yang Luoshui. Impossible. Out of the corner of his eye, Xie Zhenyuan saw that very same assassin's cold pupils behind him. Shockingly, this was another Mu Duang. When Xie Zhenyuan turned his head back, another Mu Duang was leaping at him from the front to take his life. The obsession Xie Zhenyuan had for the star duels cooled along with gushing, hot blood. He was unreconciled, in despair, mournful. All his feelings of fear towards death were crammed into his body that was losing blood. Xie Zhenyuan gazed at this dim-witted girl, feeling dread and remorse from the core of his being for the first time, but in the end, as a figure like Ho Rulan's appeared, all of his negative feelings vanished into thin air. This adorable girl had given Xie Zhenyuan endless motivation and comfort. Mu Duang drew back her dagger. Xie Zhenyuan fell to his knees, his eyes dim. "Well done." Xie Zhenyuan let out inaudible praise, this time lowering his head forever. "Elder sister, I have surpassed you." The 3 Mu Duang spoke at the same time, becoming one. This was third watch. "Master." Yang Luoshui was heartbroken, turning around with the frost magnificence shining moon glowing. Heaven rank, Samsara 6 Paths Annihilation, was activated. Bright Moon Longevity Palace. Gu Tong, Shi Yuan, Tang Lianxin, and Zhang Yuqi were very nervous. The atmosphere near Maiden Mountain abruptly changed, plunging into a cold winter as far as the eye could see, surprisingly affecting even the Longevity Palace's surroundings. The girls very quickly sensed this was the work of Lin Yingmei. The Tang Tang in Gu Tong's embrace could not help but hold her mother even tighter. Just who is Su Xing's enemy, to be powerful enough to make Sister Yingmei use her heaven rank? Shi Yuan watched 10,000 Li turn wintry under Lin Yingmei's attack, feeling deep worry. "There is no point in us going either. We will only add to elder brother's burdens." Tang Lianxin wanted to help but was powerless. They turned quiet. For them, dying would not really matter, but the crucial point was that falling into Su Xing's star nest would influence him negatively. At the current stage, there was nothing they could do aside from waiting inside the Longevity Palace. Young Su has so many elder sisters helping him, there is no need to worry. Zhang Feiyu said. But it's probably better to make the Longevity Palace head over. Gu Tong nodded. Mama. At this moment, Tang Tang tugged the hem of Gutong's clothes. The little loli pointed behind them. Everyone looked. A ray of golden light was rapidly closing. Long blizzard nights. Freezing frost of 9 provinces. Ice heart seals sun and moon. Cold dream freezes 1,000 years. Wu Xinjie muttered, smiling in spite of herself. Lin Yingmei's heaven, earth, dark, yellow techniques were honestly interesting, but she wondered whether or not they could defeat Shi Xian. The blizzard finally ended. The world that entered her eyes was already completely white, an endless expanse of snow. Lin Yingmei retracted her spear. Shi Xian was still standing, the phoenix splitter sword's bloodlight glowing, emitting a frightening dignity. Her clothes and armor were cracked, cutting a somewhat sorry figure. This woman is so strong. Wu Xiao panted. After using her heaven earth dark yellow, the pilgrim was already unable to continue battle, but she suddenly felt powerless looking at Shi Xian. Even her do not laugh laying drunk on battlefield and Lin Yingmei's 7-star heaven rank were unexpectedly still unable to defeat her. I fear her innate skill is hindering you all, and that star weapon is also very dangerous. Su Xing shook his head. Wu Xiao frowned, frustration written on her face. Rest for now, she ought to be almost at her limit. Leave this to me. Su Xing patted Wu Xiao. Wu Xiao nodded and was supported to a safe distance by Shiyu. Shi Xian's robes were already torn. The woman wiped away the blood at the corner of her mouth, slowly opening her eyes. Now, you can all go die. Shi Xian raised the phoenix splitter, bursting with a murderous aura. Your servant shall accompany you. Lin Yingmei raised her spear, about to launch an assault again. Cold light slashed, and a young woman stood between them. Following a wave of her hand, she repelled Lin Yingmei, and then her hand pointed to freeze Shi Xian on the spot. Wu Xinjie and the others turned pale with fright, thinking this woman had finally taken action. Even the Chao Gai spectating from far away felt her chest tighten. Fortunately, Fang Mojia had no interest in battle. She slowly said, "Enough, stop this." The slaughter star suppressed her killing intent, raising her brows. "Your Highness. No more fighting, just let Su Xing climb the mountain." Having seen Shi Xian open a massacre, Fang Mojia once again lost any intent to fight, feeling only dry tedium. "Su Xing, Mojia believes in you, please forgive Shi Xian for refusing this order." Shi Xian interrupted Fang Mojia. "Shi Xian." Fang Mojia wrinkled her brow. "Your Highness, please kill Shi Xian. Otherwise, Shi Xian will kill this man for sure." Shi Xian's words left no room for retreat. "Must you actually be like this? Perhaps the one who dies will be you. Wuda, Shu'er, and Nyang have all already been defeated." Fang Mojia shook her head. Shi Xian smiled. "Your Highness, did you not say that he can end the star duels on your behalf? Then how about this? If he kills your servant, then that demonstrates he indeed has these qualifications. But if he is unable to even surpass your servant, this general will not acknowledge that this man has any capabilities to satisfy your Highness' wish." "Are you serious?" Fang Mojia softly said. "Ever since your servant has followed your Highness, this is the most serious Shi Xian has been." Shi Xian completely opened her eyes, without the contempt she had before. Fang Mojia's killing intent vanished formlessly. The girl looked at Su Xing, her blue eyes carrying a bit of melancholy. Su Xing stepped forth, saying, "That's perfect. Let's see who's stronger. I'll have to ask those sisters of my wives if I'm unable to kill Shi Xian." "Just you?" Shi Xian sneered disdainfully. Top-notch star maidens were no match for her, let alone an insignificant star master. This was truly too ridiculous. "Su Xing, do you truly not need your humble servant to take action?" Wu Konghou slightly grinned. "Senior Konghou, you came." Chai Ling was delighted. Looking at the galaxy-like 9-star noble frost demonic lotus swords in Wu Konghou's hands, Su Xing was somewhat dazzled. Sure enough, she was the 8th Overlord. This is the grudge between her and me and my wives. No need to trouble Senior. Su Xing bowed respectfully. As expected of the man that caught your humble servant's eye. Very good, very good. Wu Konghou said in satisfaction. Arrogance. Soon, this general shall kill you as well. Shi Xian said matter-of-factly. Fang Mojia shut her eyes, floating into the air. A white light glowed, and behind her, the figure of a Xuannu of ninth heaven manifested. The girl herself was like this Xuannu. Everyone was speechless. Then, fine. Major, if you and your allies can get past Shi Xian, then I, Fang Mojia, shall acknowledge that you are able to change the situation of the star duels. Many thanks to your highness for your understanding. Shi Xian knelt on the ground. Fang Mojia looked at Shi Xian and sighed, look out for yourself, Shi Xian. The girl shook her head, vanishing from the center of them. Wu Konghou's lips curled into a grin. To be able to receive Her Highness' admiration is your good fortune. However, this general will not permit any man to sully Her Majesty's eyes. Shi Xian rose, raising her blade. Her gaze floated over Lin Yingmei, Su Xing, Wu Xiao, Hun Yangzi, and the rest one by one. This general's phoenix splitter has felled countless true phoenix star generals. Killing you all will require only one attack. The phoenix splitter was held aloft. Shi Xian's killing intent vanished without a trace. An earth rank? One attack is unavoidably too arrogant. Su Xing readied his full power, secretly seizing the Liangshan seal and 5 dragons' lantern. The smiling killing immortal's super kill is indeed so. An indifferent voice entered everyone's ears. Su Xing looked to see fluttering white clothes and a slender figure. A woman holding an extremely long tachi leisurely walked over. Yusuji Muzu. Yusuji Muzu, what did you come here for? I don't need you to do anything. This grudge is between me and her. Su Xing said in a low voice. The woman's eyes were apathetic. Muzu is merely giving you a bit of an innate skill for self-preservation. Against Shi Xian, Muzu has no plans at all to take action. Su Xing was taken aback. The woman waved her sword. All of a sudden, everyone felt their realms immediately increase. Muzu's realm commander can allow the star generals in her surroundings to increase their realm. This is the most we can do. This Shi Xian is considerably fearsome. Koito said. Seeing them so serious, everyone felt like they were facing a great menace. Shi Xian's super kill can instantly slay the targets in her surroundings. You had best keep your distance. Li Shishir promptly warned. Go. Su Xing did not hesitate, tossing the Liangshan seal. The 10,000 calamities chains wrapped around Shi Xian's surroundings. All space around Shi Xian was incomparably quiet. The previously terrifying killing intent seemed to be an illusion, but Su Xing understood this was merely the calm before the storm. Su Xing used full power to control the Liangshan seal. It became a mountain 10,000 chi in size, seemingly smashing even Maiden Mountain as it hurtled towards Shi Xian. We will have to be a bit more careful. Zhao Hanyan, Gong Kaiwei, and Shiyu also brought out several self-protection magic weapons. Shi Xian suddenly roared. Then came the storm, finally. There was a rumbling boom. The layers of 10,000 calamities chains were surprisingly disintegrated. The chains that had been forged and tempered with heavenly calamities were unexpectedly unable to last against Shi Xian's murderous aura. This shocked Su Xing. Die, all of you. Shi Xian swung her sword. This is bad. Without any warning, Su Xing, Chai Ling, Lin Yingmei, Wu Xiao, Hun Yangzi, Hua Wanyue, Wu Xinjie, Li Shishir, Yusuji Muzu, and the others were abruptly met with the attack from Shi Xian's phoenix splitter. Everyone had clearly spread out already, but Shi Xian surprisingly enveloped them all within her attack range in a single instant. Her speed was at the peak of swiftness. Even the chaotic tail escape would be eating her dust. Bloodlight and sword chi blossomed on everyone's bodies. Without any room for openings or thinking. An attack without any suspense. The first wave of sword light arrived very suddenly. Everyone's defenses crumbled, and sword light blasted them in the chest, staining the ground with blood. When the second wave of sword light came, Su Xing felt an unprecedented danger. When the blade light pierced his chest, he controlled purple cloud east approaches and dragged the Liangshan seal down. This enormous Liangshan seal finally brought heavy pressure that made Shi Xian's earth rank become less unbearable. A heaven-shaking noise. The Phoenix Splitter's swordlight cleaved the Liangshan seal apart. This supreme-grade magic weapon that could shake Liangshan continent thus broke apart like this. I underestimated you. Liangshan split apart. Shi Xian appeared in the middle, giant fragments of rock falling all around her. She swept her gaze over everyone. This man's magic energy was stronger than she had imagined, to surprisingly have injured her, using a magic weapon to inhibit her strongest attack. Looking at the blood dripping off the Phoenix Splitter's sword tip, Shi Xian's expression was even more gloomy. Lin Yingmei, Hua Wanyue, Hun Yangzi, and the others had been slashed. They were all on their knees, their bodies covered in blood. Even Yusuji Muzu's incomparably white clothes were stained red. The girl herself also stuck her sword into the ground, having fallen to a knee. They were practically all defeated. This was Shi Xian's Earth rank. Super kill. Only an Earth rank. This will be dangerous. Wu Konghou saw that she herself had been struck. She used her hand to trace the wound, licking the blood off her fingers. Liked it? Across all of Star World, Shi Xian was an existence those lower than Emperor Star were unable to defeat. Each time a martial force star general as strong as her used a heaven, earth, dark, or yellow technique, she would be more exhausted compared to a normal star general. Right now, Shi Xian was finally forced to use her earth rank. To the Slaughter Star, this was undoubtedly something very humiliating. But compared to using super kill, what made Shi Xian feel even more humiliated was that her earth rank surprisingly did not kill a single person. Not a single star general died. Although it could be said that man used a magic weapon to suppress her, she was unable to accept that surprisingly not even one star general died, even if those star generals were all heavily wounded. Not only her, even Li Shishir felt very shocked. In the Star World battles, whenever Shi Xian used her earth rank, extremely few star generals could escape with their lives. But before her eyes were these true spirit star generals that, in spite of everything, tenaciously stood up, including the incapacitated Wu Xiao. We sisters do not want to add to young lord's burdens. To have us starfall, just your earth rank is not enough. Wu Xinjie panted, showing a tenacious smile. A startled glint flashed past Shi Xian's eyes, but very quickly, it was replaced by endless resentment. You all are merely prolonging your deaths for the time being. It's time that I be your opponent. Su Xing's right hand held the 7 colors goose feather saber. Behind him, the 5 elements flying swords spread like a peacock's tail. Star Master, the thing Shi Xian disdained the most in her life were Star Masters, the men of Star World are all trash. What can you do? Let this general see just what qualifications you have to make Her Highness admire you. The last 2 words practically hissed out from between her clenched teeth. When she finished speaking, Shi Xian's figure vanished. Blood-covered saber light suddenly flashed. After using her earth rank, Shi Xian already was no longer at peak status. To think of instantly killing Su Xing was already a fantasy. The 5 elements flying swords became 5 sword rainbows, endlessly attacking. Shi Xian's Phoenix Splitter swept forth, easily repelling these 5 elements flying swords. She leapt, sword light descending like a meteor. Su Xing's meditative mind lotus flower was toppled by the sword light. A ray of purple cloud east approaches attacked but was unable to deplete Shi Xian's terrifying ray of blood. Killing intent pushed him directly, but Su Xing was unmoved. Using the chaotic tail escape, he hastily pulled back. Then, Su Xing released the 10,000-year Gu Demon's Ghost Cavalry King. The Ghost Cavalry King howled when he was released, an evil wind blowing, wicked sounds ringing. The disgusting and malevolent demon directly pounced on Shi Xian, the ghost's god's bane in his hand exploding with formidable power. What star world's strongest? Watch this king devour you. The ghost cavalry king slashed with all his might, a black ghost mist practically devouring a large expanse of space. Shi Xian completely did not anticipate that Su Xing would surprisingly still hide such a thing. Therefore, she swung her sword. A completely red sword light completely shredded the ghost mist. The ghost cavalry king was startled, raising his sword to defend. Thus, the phoenix splitters carried a true phoenix as it cut apart his body. The ghost cavalry king that was reputed to be immortal was suddenly vaporized by the true phoenix of Shi Xian's terrifying realm and might. No, after a miserable scream, the insufferably arrogant ghost cavalry king's soul was scattered to the wind. Su Xing actually was not surprised. With Shi Xian's powerful martial force, the ghost cavalry king could only act as cannon fodder. A perfectly qualified piece of cannon fodder. Nyangzi! Su Xing shouted. Bright star who Nyangzi understood tacitly. No one can save you. The Shi Xian full of murderous intent appeared in front of Su Xing without wasting a breath, slicing at his neck with her sword. This time, Su Xing was completely unable to evade. But Su Xing had no thoughts of escaping at all. He turned over his left hand, revealing a Qilin dagger as he stepped forwards instead of shrinking back. It was too late for Shi Xian to think. She only wanted to end Su Xing's life with this slash, to conclude this star duel. But a bright green light appeared on Su Xing's body. When the phoenix splitter cut against Su Xing's neck, it was unable to behead this man. On the contrary, the blade's edge was unexpectedly unable to cut an inch further past the protective light. What is the meaning of this? Shi Xian was shocked. While Shi Xian was unable to lop Su Xing's head off, Su Xing ruthlessly stepped forward. The Qilin dagger then sunk into Shi Xian's left breast. Although Shi Xian was already protecting herself with her powerful realm, this dagger surprisingly ignored her defenses. The blade's tip stabbed into her body, and Shi Xian immediately sensed she had been poisoned. You! Shi Xian seethed in anger, finally repelling Su Xing with a slash. When autumn's golden wind embraces jade dew. From far away, Hun Yangzi used her heaven-earth dark yellow. Her golden wind and jade dew sabers danced, large swathes of saber light falling onto Shi Xian. Su Xing retreated 100 paces, the light of jade dew very quickly dimming from his body. He stared at the Shi Xian enveloped by saber light. His forehead was drenched in cold sweat, but he did not pay any mind to the frightening wounds he sustained on his body. Just now, he and Hun Yangzi used their heaven-earth dark yellow when autumn's golden wind embraces jade dew in an all-or-nothing gamble. The result was actually very successful. Relying on the unrivaled jade dew halo, Su Xing stabbed Shi Xian's chest with Qilin destruction. Hun Yangzi's saber light then very smoothly and successfully struck home. The saber lights of golden wind and jade dew became dust, slowly dissipating. Shi Xian remained standing, her left arm dribbling blood, the clothes on her body shredded, her armor spiderwebbed by cracks. The woman's eyes were round and wide. She pulled out the dagger lodged in her chest. Qilin destruction was refined from poison that could kill even a Qilin, but to the Shi Xian who could easily slay a Qilin, she was far, far more poisonous than Qilin destruction. However, the powerful poison still instantly seeped into each meridian in the woman's body, making Shi Xian's consciousness somewhat muddled. The damage was not minor. An infuriated Shi Xian squeezed the Qilin dagger to pieces. She coldly glared at Su Xing. To think that she would be forced into this state by this man, this was honestly too unbelievable. I will absolutely kill him, even if I must take him with me. This was the first time Shi Xian had such thoughts in her life. Wu Konghou watched in astonishment at Su Xing and Shi Xian's exchange of blows, feeling shock at every move and gesture of this man. He was too powerful to surprisingly injure Shi Xian. It appeared she did not need to worry about him. Although Shi Xian was very strong, what Wu Konghou was more concerned about was that so-called Emperor Star Xuanu Realm Fang La, Sister Konghou, go help Su Xing. Chai Ling anxiously said. Wu Konghou smiled, no need to worry, your man will win for sure. But that woman completely lacks any openings. Chai Ling's Xinger had died to super kill, leaving her heart very miserable. Did you forget? That man still has you, Linger. Wu Konghou shook her head. This palace, Chai Ling hesitated. In short, if he truly wants to end the star duels, then he must defeat Shi Xian. Wu Konghou's gaze was placed on Fang Mojia, so just allow your humble servant to first meet this Shi Xian's master. Saying this, Wu Konghou vanished from where she stood. In an instant, she already reappeared above Fang Mojia. Falling dragon boundless. Wu Konghou's hands slashed at Fang Mojia, an invisible suction force able to subdue any divine beast in the world. Fang Mojia raised a finger. With just a single finger, she unexpectedly completely stopped Wu Konghou's claw attack. Mojia does not wish to fight. Fang Mojia indifferently spoke. She pushed through space with her palm, shaking Wu Konghou back. She really does not place your humble servant in her eyes. Wu Konghou looked at her numb palms, restraining the trembling in her hands. She showed a desire to fight Fang Mojia. Is this it? Wu Konghou leapt forth, her swords in her hands, slashing at Fang Mojia. Her two swords became a dual-mode sword array, trapping Fang Mojia at the center. Then, this space departed from the world as powerful sword chi attacked. Wu Konghou finally used her heaven rank. Heavenly Law dual-mode sword. You should not disturb Mojia. A radiant light flashed in Fang Mojia's eyes. A Xuannu of ninth heaven true spirit appeared behind her. A dazzling white light expanded and easily devoured Wu Konghou's heavenly law dual-mode sword. Then, the white light rolled, with Fang Mojia and Wu Konghou vanishing from this place. While everyone focused their attention on Su Xing and Shi Xian's intense war, Xian Lao manifested her body from the frozen soil. The stone-faced woman was expressionless. Finally, she turned her gaze towards leader star Song Qingxi. Taking revenge for the sake of Li Taisui was the woman's sole obsession, and destroying Su Xing's star duel was included in this. Before everything happened, Xian Lao had been listening closely. She knew that Song Qingxi was leader star Song Jiang, and she also knew that the purple thunder monster was currently doing everything in his power to protect this woman. Xian Lao's mind immediately raised killing intent. She revealed herself and attacked Song Qingxi. Look out! Dong Junqing immediately noticed her presence. But Xian Lao relied on the terrain's advantage to move at extreme speeds. Her hand pointed, first striking Song Qingxi with Dream of Golden Millet. The leader star completely lacked any defensive measures and immediately sunk into unconsciousness. Then, Xian Lao turned her hand into a blade. Zhao Hanyan was completely unable to stop her. Dong Junqing shouted, using the heaven-earth dark yellow she possessed with Zhao Hanyan. No pledge dragon phoenix life pledge term, the killing intent of the double spears biting into Xian Lao. Following an enormous ripping sound, the frozen earth jolted. Xian Lao unexpectedly did not die, and the woman already revealed her true body. The skin over her entire body was like yellow Vajra stone, impenetrable. Vajra amber. Upon seeing Xian Lao's true body, Zhao Hanyan was shocked. The body of Vajra amber possessed extremely formidable defensive capability. It was practically comparable to Black Turtle Divine Iron, and this kind of demon spirit appeared to be even stronger. Xian Lao was already in front of Song Qingxi. The sole person who could stop Xian Lao, Su Xing, was currently locked in battle with Shi Xian and unable to intervene. The others were even less able to obstruct Xian Lao. Xian Yunshang was even prepared to use her body as a shield to buy time. Just as Song Qingxi was about to die, Su Xing's hopes of ending the star duels would fail at the final stretch. Just at this critical moment, several rays of Qilin golden light descended from the heavens and struck Xian Lao's body. This Qilin golden light's might was powerful. Even Xian Lao's whole body was shaken stiff. The Vajra amber's body split apart with cracks. Revenge for Taisui. Xian Lao's true body Vajra Amber had been transformed by Taisui's Cloud Dream's spiritual power, so she treated Li Taisui as her own father. Her strong obsession made Xian Lao rush out from the Qilin's shackles. A shout suddenly came from the horizon. A bolt of golden light swift as lightning. A resplendent lance immediately pierced Xian Lao and terminated the woman in one single movement. This golden light was like a giant Qilin keeping Xian Lao in its grasp. Xian Lao was too late to struggle free when she was easily slain by the Qilin. The general of heavenly vision star fell, and then the golden light pivoted to attack Shi Xian. That is, Zhao Hanyan and the others were shocked. Who else can help you? Shi Xian's sword once again repelled Su Xing. Her sword light was like blood, crossing the world unhindered. Even while injured, Shi Xian's killing intent instead only grew stronger and stronger due to her fury. All of a sudden, a Qilin cried out. Several Qilin lights descended from the sky. Shi Xian smashed apart these flashes with a backhand swipe of her sword. She leapt into the air, her brow wrinkling. There is still shower. Like a god, a girl dressed in golden silk clothes and magnificent colors appeared before Shi Xian. Her eyes were like that Qilin's, incomparably dignified. The surrounding snowflakes danced. Sprinkled by her golden light, they were like tens of thousands of stars, glittering splendidly. The strongest martial general. The strength star. The Qilin took the stage. Strength star Jade Qilin Lu Zhao's hand gripped the 7-star golden Qilin lance. She mounted her heavenly river dragon horse, matchlessly dignified. Because Song Qingxi gave her 5 former volume heavenly books to refine, she was delayed for a very long time. Sensing a large-scale starfall at Maiden Mountain, she rushed over without pause before she even had a chance to refine the 6th. Fortunately, she was here in the nick of time, otherwise, Song Qingxi would have already died to Xian Lao's hand. Jade Qilin glanced at Song Qingxi and Xian Yunshang, slightly sighing. This woman is our sister's greatest enemy. Lu Xiao asked Su Xing, I'm a man, she is Shi Xian. Su Xing directly threw the birth treasure outline to Lu Xiao. Seeing the golden characters upon it, Lu Xiao's brows rose. She felt considerably astounded. Sisters, leave your husband to shower. Lu Xiao looked around at the already heavily injured Lin Yingmei and others. Let's go together. Su Xing said. Lu Xiao grinned, then you cannot drag shower down, husband. The Lu Xiao who had refined 5 heavenly books brought the golden Qilin lance to 7-star, and her realm had reached a true phoenix 7th stage comparable to Lin Yingmei. But the only regret was that the strength star's heaven rank had yet to be comprehended. You can all die together for love. Shi Xian's wrist quivered, and a sword light burst forth. The heavenly river dragon horse spat a ray of light to block this attack. Afterwards, the surrounding snowflakes were completely scattered. The heavenly river dragon horse galloped forth. Relying on her star beast's strength, Lu Zhao's lance stabbed directly at Shi Xian. Su Xing also stepped forth, activating an escape technique, dual-wielding the 7 colors goose feather and dragon sparrow long sabers to attack Shi Xian. Shi Xian closed the distance, sweeping phoenix splitter horizontally. Not only was the pervasive killing intent eliminated, the entire frozen ground was split apart by the sword qi. Although she was already very injured, Shi Xian still possessed powerful qualifications to be arrogant before Lu Xiao. Even a faster figure would not be able to evade such a tidal offensive. Shi Xian's sword was completely without any bit of room to be wielded. Lu Zhao's attack was only an instant, but when her defensive stance was shredded to pieces by Shi Xian's phoenix restraint, that was also something that transpired in an instant. Wounds very quickly appeared over Lu Zhao's body, and a chilling, bloody sword light suddenly arrived. The heavenly river dragon horse did its utmost to use its powers, but it was unable to hinder the phoenix splitter's might. Lu Xiao grit her teeth, quickly leaping away. Shi Xian's attack killed the heavenly river dragon horse. When her next attack was prepared to continue confronting the Lu Xiao who had lost the initiative, Su Xing's twin sabers already rushed over to stop her killing blow. So this is the phoenix restraint innate skill. Lu Xiao took a deep breath. Shi Xian did not respond at all. She brooded over the fact that she was unable to easily kill Su Xing. Su Xing's double sabers handled her perfectly. Though Shi Xian's innate skill was the strongest, it was nevertheless unable to hinder Su Xing. Thus, he was fighting her far more smoothly compared to Lu Xiao. However, in the end, Shi Xian's realm was still existing at the pinnacle of true phoenix. 10,000 years of battle allowed her body to become completely honed. After several dozen bouts, Su Xing had even more wounds deep enough to show bone. Damn it! Shi Xian's shoulder sustained a blow, halting her strike as she turned the blade back to repel Lu Xiao. Su Xing used Heavenly Wolf Moon Howl to injure Shi Xian again. Against the coordinated teamwork of these two, Shi Xian was very displeased. Husband Su Xing, can Shower make a tiny request of you? Seeing the two of them held the advantage, Lu Xiao asked slightly seriously. What? Is it possible to let Shower defeat Shi Xian alone? Lu Xiao's dignity as the strongest martial general began to stir mischief. Seeing Lin Yingmei and the others were all defeated by Shi Xian and that Shi Xian currently had gone through a very harrowing battle, unable to even use her earth rank, Lu Xiao suddenly felt that defeating her with teamwork lacked any sense of victory. Of course, the most important point was that Lu Xiao had refined 5 heavenly books. Regardless of realm or star weapons, she was the strongest strength star in history. She did not want to have anyone meddle in the battles she wanted. If I don't agree, will you incapacitate me first so that I can't intervene? Su Xing said, how could I? Lu Xiao laughed, but her eyes betrayed her. Then don't you lose. Su Xing knew her temperament, retreating to the side, otherwise, I won't forgive you. Oh, your words truly make Shower excited. Lu Xiao nodded. Shi Xian once again narrowed her eyes. This honestly was too interesting. She had experienced countless battles, and this battle was truly very interesting. Under circumstances of occupying the advantage, the two of them surprisingly no longer coordinated. She did not know whether to say if this man was spoiling that strength star too much, or, the two of them were seeking their own deaths, Shi Xian sneered. Without a doubt, they had chosen the latter. Her figure rose. Shi Xian once again launched an offensive that reached the greatest heights. Lu Xiao tightly gripped her golden Qilin lance, advancing. In a world wrapped in silver and white, Shi Xian's blood-colored figure and Lu Xiao's sparkling gold clashed with countless sparks. The frequency of their attack exchanges was astonishingly fast. On the vast expanse of white plains in everyone's eyes, they saw only shadows flitting back and forth in mutual clashes, swift to the extreme, with no way for anyone to interfere. Under the previous intense fighting, Shi Xian did not occupy an absolute advantage at all against Lu Xiao. Young Lord. Wu Xinjie cast a worried glance. Xinjie fears that Lu Xiao will be unable to best her, Shueishue's prophecy, Qilin blood shines red. How could Su Xing ever forget the start of that verse, Qilin blood shines red? But there was no other choice now. With Lu Xiao's prideful bearing, she would never allow him to interfere in the fight against Shi Xian. He could only do everything he could to minimize danger to her. How is Qingxi? Su Xing asked. Qingxi was struck by Xian Lao's dream of golden millet, she is still unconscious. Su Xing instantly arrived beside Song Qingxi. The girl's expression was in extreme pain, unclear what she was dreaming. Will anything else happen to her? Xian Yunshang said. Su Xing did not hesitate to light the 5 dragons' lantern, suspending it above Song Qingxi. 5 golden dragons vaguely manifested from the flame, shining Buddhist light. This supreme magic weapon of Buddhism could settle disturbed minds. The 5 dragons' lantern activated, and, dream of golden millet, gradually abated. Song Qingxi's expression became peaceful. Su Xing urged his magic energy into the 5 dragons' lantern. A moment later, Song Qingxi at last slowly woke up. She saw that she was laying against Su Xing's chest, as if she was still in a dream. Is it over? Not yet, Lu Zhao's here. You must protect yourself properly in order to end the star duels for your sisters. Su Xing was serious. Song Qingzi quietly answered, your servant was just dreaming of the star-fallen sisters. They hate your servant. Whatever thoughts you have, that's what you'll dream. If you think all of this is your fault and want to die to atone, then they will naturally hate you. They hate your cowardice and flight. But if you can think of ending the 1,000 years of star duels for the wish of your star-fallen sisters, I believe not a single one of Maiden Mountain sisters would ever hate you. They will only help you. Su Xing's words made Song Qingzi seem to comprehend something. The girl finally recovered her vigor, no longer staying in that passive gloom. Song Qingzi saw Lu Xiao fight Shi Xian. Is there anything your servant can do? You are the leader's star, Maiden Mountain's eldest sister. Everything follows your will, no one else can help you. Su Xing shook his head. Elder sister Lu Xiao will not last much longer. Xian Yunshang said at this moment. Su Xing could also see Lu Xiao was beginning to falter. Regardless of realm or star weapon, Shi Xian in the end still firmly inhibited the strength star. Perhaps if Lu Xiao had her heaven rank, then she would still have a chance at victory. Shi Xian still has her heaven rank. This was what Su Xing was most worried about. Shi Xian's earth, dark, and yellow techniques already made them suffer enough. As for her heaven rank, he was unable to imagine who else could withstand it. This was already no longer the time to ponder upon this. Su Xing handed Song Qingzi to Xian Yunshang. He watched Lu Xiao gradually slow down. He needed to take action. Just at this moment, 100 li away from Maiden Mountain, a crimson star fell. From the direction, it appeared to be Xie Zhenyuan's. This change surprised Su Xing, but immediately, another crimson star fell, but this time, it landed on Su Xing's body. It was as if this starfall's energy was completely deliberately presented to him. Doing, Su Xing's heart ached. Hiya! A mighty shout that shook the world interrupted Su Xing's thoughts. Lu Xiao and Shi Xian's confrontation had finally proceeded to its last stage. The battered and bruised Jade Qilin somersaulted, leaping down from high up, her figure becoming an enormous Qilin filled all of empty space. Everyone looked up hopefully, for the golden Qilin lance was just like the sharp claws of a Qilin as it thrust towards Shi Xian. The earth rank gathered all of Lu Xiao's power. Qilin descends the world. Shi Xian held her claymore horizontally before her, stroking her left hand over the sword's edge. The woman's frightening killing intent became formless, turning the space around her eerily quiet and terrifying. This is bad, it's an earth rank. Su Xing's expression changed, using the chaotic tail escape without any hesitation. He! The gigantic golden Qilin seized Shi Xian. No, it did not grab her at all. Shi Xian's phoenix splitter blocked this unstoppable golden Qilin's claw. Lu Xiao made every effort to crush her, but the smile upon Shi Xian's lips grew more and more savage. Devil and Qilin opposed one another. Finally, Lu Xiao slowly pressed on bit by bit. Die! Shi Xian suddenly swung her sword. In a split second, in Lu Xiao's eyes, the world seemed to vanish. Countless bloodlights burst all over the girl's body like bolts of lightning, their bite devastating. The Qilin screamed in pain, her true phoenix realm destroyed. Shi Xian once again used Earth rank super kill, but this super kill completely focused all of its killing intent onto a single target. Several hundred severe swordlights became innumerable arcs of light that sent Lu Xiao flying. If it was not for a star general's indestructible body, Lu Xiao would have already turned into dust under this swordlight. Lu Xiao fell from the heavens, soaked in blood. Instantly, with Lu Xiao at the center, the 100 meters around her was stained red. The girl seemed to be in the middle of a sea of blood. Qilin's blood shines red. Shower! Su Xing screamed. His chaotic tail escape arrived in front of Lu Xiao, deflecting Shi Xian's incoming blow. Time to send you two off, Shi Xian sneered. She prepared to cut both Su Xing and Lu Xiao down in one strike. At this moment, no one else present could stop her in time at all. A sword of water abruptly fell from the sky, forcing Shi Xian back. Zhang Yuqi, Gu Tong, Shi Yuan, and Tang Lianxin descended from the sky, obstructing her. I will not let you hurt my man. Gu Tong shouted. She opened her mouth, and a sound lingering a millennium immediately burst from her throat, pounding Shi Xian. Young Su, quickly sign a contract with Lu Xiao. Zhang Yuqi was very worried. Su Xing already held Lu Xiao. The girl's silhouette was already starting to fade. This was the sign of a starfall. No, Shower cannot sign a contract. If you truly are thinking of Shower, then do not. Lu Xiao was still maintaining her dignity as the last 1,000-year martial general. I have never forced anyone to follow me, but you will be the first and the last. Su Xing did not let her speak. He lowered his head and kissed Lu Xiao's lips. Although Lu Xiao was very resistant, her weak consciousness was completely unable to ward off Su Xing's intrusion in the slightest. Lu Xiao felt the first time in her life being held by a man and passionately kissed. Her lips were tyrannically seized, linked and sucked. An indescribable feeling filled her entire body and every meridian. She remembered that scene when she first met Su Xing back then at Cash Mountain. The first time she saw Lin Chang's man indeed felt even more unforgettable. She remembered bringing Wu Xiao to her second meeting with Su Xing. She remembered that scene when they showed up at Crystal Dragon Palace together. Remembering the dribs and drabs the two of them experienced, although this man was known as the strongest Star Master, he did not show a trace of fear towards her, his strongest enemy. The time the two of them spent together was even more fond than some Star Masters and Star Generals. Lu Xiao's heart softened. She finally parted her teeth, allowing this man to dominate her everything. Mu Duing was at a loss, wandering through the frozen earth in a daze, every step leaving behind a bloody print. Luo Shui has never respected any opponent. Guardian Star little restrained Mu Chun, Mu Duing, you are the first. Farewell. Behind her, the figure of young Luo Shui vanished following her words, only leaving behind her resplendent frost magnificence shining moon. Mu Duing staggered along. Her field of vision was becoming more and more blurry, and her consciousness was becoming increasingly weak. Elder sister, I have finally surpassed you. Mu Duing achieved her own wish and thus had no more desires. From somewhere very far away came killing intent and a familiar feeling. Mu Duing wanted to walk over there and proudly tell that man, I did it. She imagined Su Xing's shock and awe. This made her somewhat conceited. But she was too tired. Mu Duing crouched down to rest. She looked at her fading body. She did not know why, but tears began to flow. She had clearly accomplished her wish, yet her heart was strangely somewhat regretful. Mu Duing sniffled. Why am I crying? The girl looked at the dripping pearls. She did not understand. Liked it? Purple and gold star crests flashed upon Su Xing and Lu Xiao's foreheads. A profound light wrapped around the two, and all of their injuries were fully recovered. Su Xing ended the deep kiss. He looked at the Lu Xiao who had lost herself due to her first kiss. You took advantage of Shower. Lu Xiao's face was red, springing up from the ground. Jade Qilin glared at Su Xing, as if saying, if you want to sign a contract, just sign it. To use a kiss for the kiss contract is honestly too obscene. Su Xing smiled out of embarrassment. Due to the fact the contracts he signed with his other wives were practically all kiss contracts, the result was that he had naturally become accustomed. However, now was not the time to be worried about this. Gu Tong and the others were completely without any chance of victory against Shi Xian and were stuck in a dangerous place. Husband, can you help Shower hold off Shi Xian for a moment? Lu Xiao gazed at Shi Xian. Although she already relied on the contract to resuscitate herself, Jade Qilin was much calmer and not like before, thinking of blindly settling a battle against Shi Xian. With Shi Xian's current powerful killing intent, she still had enough to spare facing against the peak Lu Xiao. What's your plan? Lu Xiao took out her last heavenly book that had yet to be refined. Shower wants to continue refining this, to comprehend heaven rank against Shi Xian, and then kill her before she can use her heaven rank. Signing a contract was just like getting married. Even the haughty Jade Qilin had a sense of responsibility. Su Xing was quite gratified and nodded. Husband, you must not die. Lu Xiao was still very worried. To make a Star Master battle against an enemy capable of slaying Star Generals, this had never occurred in the Star Duels. However, towards this man, Lu Xiao was still somewhat confident. I won't, we still haven't consummated. Su Xing laughed out loud. Lu Xiao's face reddened again. This time, she did not scold him, instead, showing slight bashfulness, sure, if husband can survive, Xiao shall oblige you. Then I cannot die. Su Xing turned around and launched an attack on Shi Xian. Lu Xiao breathed deeply, putting all her power into refining the former heavenly book. She could already sense her heaven rank. The 4 supervoid stage puppets that Shi Yuan summoned were slain by Shi Xian with only a few strokes of her sword. Gu Tong, Tang Lianxin, and Zhang Yuqi were unable to withstand her for too long, injuries appearing one after another over their bodies. Su Xing and Lu Xiao's contract transpired very quickly, but Shi Xian had completely overpowered the girls. This man's women actually are very numerous, but they merely send themselves to die. Shi Xian sneered, appeared in front of Zhang Yuqi in an instant, bringing her sword down. Zhang Yuqi shut her eyes and waited for death. All of a sudden, an upright figure obscured her view, bringing a boundless sense of safety. Clang! Shi Xian's phoenix splitter was stopped. Young Su. Zhang Yuqi was astonished. Yuqi, you and the others retreat. Just leave this place to me. Su Xing was serious. Those not like a top-notch martial general basically could not last more than a few moves, and he did not want to see them injured. Zhao Yuqi and the other girls understood, leaving their battle range one after another. You have worked hard, little sisters. Wu Xinjie said to them. Is Su Xing facing her alone? Shi Yuan was anxious. Believe in big sister. Shi Xian's expression was strange. She was increasingly unable to see through the man in front of her. She honestly could not understand how he could surprisingly step forth himself to die. What he should have done was have that restored Jade Qilin fight again. Was that not supposed to be the case? This kind of bewilderment made Shi Xian become somewhat irritated, her killing intent increasingly intense. A man like this posed a danger to Her Highness. It was imperative to destroy him here. Hey! Sword light arrived in front of Su Xing in the blink of an eye, only to be stopped by the 7 colors goose feather saber. Shi Xian disdainfully pushed down on her sword, the scraping between blades showering sparks everywhere, blinding to the eye. Several seconds passed. To the Su Xing who was engaged in combat, these seconds seemed as long as centuries. Su Xing's swordlight was abruptly destroyed. Shi Xian once again launched an unstoppable assault. Wounds very quickly appeared on his body. Su Xing evaded, raising the dragon sparrow Dulong saber in his left hand, activating earth rank, clothes full of flower fragrance. This earth rank did not bring a major effect at all. Shi Xian relied on her formidable fighting talent to ward off this earth rank with more than enough room to spare. Following the end of the earth rank, the dragon Dulong saber vanished from his left hand. Shi Xian seized her chance, the tip of her sword swinging around. Purple cloud east approaches fired from Su Xing's left hand. Pervasive purple clouds wrapped around the blood-colored swordlight, but Shi Xian roared and twisted her wrist to rip apart purple cloud east approaches. Su Xing promptly retreated. A dozen blows were exchanged in the blink of an eye. Su Xing and Shi Xian's high-speed battle made the others feel stifled, unable to turn their gazes away. Shi Xian did not dare believe that there would unexpectedly be a Star Master that could surprisingly resist against her for so long. Even if she was heavily injured, she was fully confident that confronting a Star Master was within her reach. The woman once again opened her eyes brimming with killing intent. She swung her sword. Broken destiny. A feeling of danger once again burst across Su Xing's whole body. Su Xing spat, forming instant frost flame into a silver ice arrow that shot towards the incoming bloodlight. The air temperature plunged, reaching the freezing point. With Shi Xian's wrist frozen, the attack was unable to follow up on its timing. But even so, the previous sword light still tore Su Xing up with major wounds. Su Xing's right hand gripped the seven colors goose feather saber and slashed back. Shi Xian brandished her sword, but at this moment, Su Xing abruptly used light smoke dance steps to evade Shi Xian's sword. The girl spun around, but Su Xing was even faster. The seven colors goose feather saber instantly released countless rays of saber chi. This saber chi wove into a net in midair, surprisingly trapping Shi Xian in the middle. For the moment, Shi Xian was caught off guard. By the time she realized it, Su Xing was already using the seven colors goose feather saber's earth rank. Heavenly punishment, earthly destruction. The saber chi interwoven into a net wrapped around Shi Xian's whole body, sweeping forth with blind cold light. The glaring saber light was dazzling, and the entire space was shredded by the saber light. Even a single glance was blinding. After using the earth rank, Su Xing felt even more exhausted as he fell to a knee. The heavenly punishment, earthly destruction ended. Shi Xian's whole body was already tattered and ragged, but she was like an arrogant existence on the edge of a cliff that simply refused to fall down. She is impossible to defeat. This was the fear she brought to everyone. I will mince you to bits for sure. Shi Xian held her claymore inverted, but the next moment, Su Xing was charging into her chest. Before the woman could realize what was happening, Frost Moon ruinous light was already stabbed into her body, stunning Shi Xian. Su Xing's eyes concealed a trace of grief. These double daggers that Mu Duang transferred caught Shi Xian off guard. Shi Xian drew back, infuriated, preparing to behead Su Xing. Su Xing smirked. A golden figure rushed out from behind him and directly repelled Shi Xian. Shi Xian retreated, digging her legs into the ground, steadying her sorry figure. Lu Xiao winked dazzlingly at Su Xing as she stood beside him. Husband, have a good rest. Leave the rest to shower, remember that we need to consummate, go. Lu Xiao spat, staring at Shi Xian before instantly launching her assault. Humph. Shi Xian was disdainful. Her whole body shuddered, gathering her strength. Lu Xiao first used a yellow technique, Qilin Fall Sky Flash. Shi Xian waved her sword and easily broke this yellow technique, yet Lu Xiao had already closed the distance. Her second attack, Dark Technique, Cavalry breaks apart 1,000 militaries, then followed up. Like a hot knife through butter, the golden Qilin lance wrapped in the power of 1,000 cavalry stabbed into Shi Xian's chest, pushing the woman heavily back. But this was far from enough to kill Shi Xian. Therefore, her third attack, Earth rank, Qilin descends into world, made use of everything to link to her dark rank. A giant Qilin descended from the heavens and clashed with Shi Xian once again. The Phoenix Splitter and Golden Qilin lance bit at one another. This time, Lu Xiao seized the advantage, forcing Shi Xian down to a knee. The woman half bent her leg, brandishing swordlight as fast as lightning. Her powerful innate skill and the Phoenix Splitter warded off Lu Xiao. Lu Xiao's attack was not finished yet. In that instant she drew back, the Strength Star Jade Qilin who had refined her sixth heavenly book already broke into a crafty grin. Jade Qilin's heaven rank technique was used for the first time in 1,000 years. Ancient worries now end, snow across 10,000 li. This simple and unremarkable thrust stabbed through time, space and human definitions. Although Shi Xian had prepared everything, she was still unable to defend and was stabbed. With this thrust, the worries of the world and the resentment of humanity all gathered in the lance and vanished. Shi Xian stared blankly at the lance that had run through her body. Lu Xiao chained her 4 yellow, dark, earth, and heaven techniques together as simply as if she was painting, all in one go. In Xian Yunshang's words, Lu Xiao's attack methods became even more practiced after marriage. Maiden Mountain was silent. Everyone saw that Lu Xiao had stabbed through Shi Xian. The Jade Qilin's formidable heaven rank erupted, breaking apart Shi Xian's internal organs. The woman vomited blood and was sent flying. But as expected of Star World's strongest martial general, even with this, Shi Xian still did not fall. How is this possible? Lu Xiao was unable to fathom how her heaven rank was still unable to kill Shi Xian. This is bad. Su Xing shouted. All of you can go to hell. Shi Xian was enraged. Her calm face contorted malevolently. The woman shouted, launching herself straight up into the 9 firmaments, very quickly vanishing from sight. Without letting Su Xing and the others taste even the fluke of a hint of victory, a powerful force abruptly assaulted them, shaking Liangshan continent in its entirety. What is happening? Everyone was startled. An unbelievable scene appeared before their eyes. Countless bloodlights erupted upwards from the ground, rising into the heavens. As far as the eye could see, bloodlights soared. There were millions upon millions. These bloodlights contained the blood and qi of all of Liangshan continent's cultivators. Now, they were all absorbed by Shi Xian. Mountains and Rivers Pavilion. Emperor Liang was in agony, propping himself up with a banister. Down below, millions of soldiers were collapsed on the ground in pain. The blood stripped from their bodies ascended directly into the heavenly sea of clouds. Although Emperor Liang used his magic energy to resist as much as he could, he was still unable to avoid having his blood taken bit by bit. Emperor Liang was shocked. At the same time, millions of people across Liangshan continent in the East Sea, the Black Turtle Territory and White Tiger Territory were all experiencing this phenomenon at the same time. Millions of bloodlights gathered above Maiden Mountain, obscuring the crimson stars in the sky. Immediately, it became an unfathomable sea of blood. Su Xing's whole body shuddered uncontrollably. Even Lin Yingmei and the others became pale one by one. Heaven rank, final blood grounds. Shi Xian's heaven rank was used at last. Can it be we are still unable to avoid this fate in the end? Xian Yunsheng toppled weakly onto the ground. Zhao Hanyan, Gong Kaiwei, Shiyu, and the other girls were at a loss of what to do. They did not know what the best course of action was. Hey! Lu Xiao attempted to charge into the sky, but before she could get close, she was repelled. At the same time, the Phoenix Restraint innate skill was active. No true Phoenix martial general could approach. Liked it? Oh breakfast table. No one could have imagined that not only would Lu Xiao's heaven rank ancient worries now end, snow falls across 10,000 li, fail to kill Shi Xian, it would instead make her use a heaven rank that was practically capable of destroying Liangshan continent. Xinger, use this certificate to protect your life. Chai Ling dutifully gave her red ink iron certificate to Su Xing. Although she did not know if it would be useful, the noble star could only make this gamble now. Everyone could sense the might of Shi Xian's heaven rank. Without a doubt, after it formed, all life on Liangshan continent would be destroyed. It is over. Li Shishir was in despair. Song Jiang, only you can face Shi Xian. The splendid star abruptly recalled something, but leader star Song Qingxi was completely blank. Use your justice on heaven's behalf uprising banner. A voice suddenly appeared. Chao Gai. Chao Gai's expression was grim. Shi Xian's heaven rank will destroy Liangshan continent. Using the justice on heaven's behalf uprising banner, you can intrude into her heaven rank. Before she has finished absorbing the qi and blood of all life to form final red blood grounds, you can stop her. Me? Song Qingxi said. You cannot go. Against final blood grounds, this is certain death. Chao Gai shook her head. Song Qingxi was too weak. She completely had no way to break through the 9-layered bloody sky. Of course, the others were unable to as well, whether it be Lin Yingmei or Lu Xiao. The higher their realm, the less able the martial general was to approach. In the end, Thousand Buddha Star Chao Wuhui's gaze fell on Su Xing. Su Xing, did you not once say that you wanted to end the star duels? So long as you kill Shi Xian, this one believes you will achieve that for sure. However, to stop her heaven rank, this one fears, I was thinking only I'm able to go. I have to take her down with me, don't I? Su Xing's expression was very calm, placing life and death completely outside his consideration. But Lord Su, Song Qingxi was shocked. Su Xing shook his head. He took the girl's Justice on Heaven's Behalf uprising banner and gently said, "If I die, promise me that you will end the star duels for sure, achieve your sister's wish." Song Qingxi was shaken. She lifted her tear-stained, beautiful face. Even Xian Yinshang stared at Su Xing in disbelief. If one was to say before they treated Su Xing's so-called end the star duels as merely a trick to entice their sisters, to hear Su Xing want to take Song Qingxi's place in this charge against eternal damnation without any hesitation, this courage made Xian Yinshang feel stifled. "Do you want to throw your life away? Young lord. Lord husband." Su Xing's wives were all in staunch opposition. Everyone wanted to take the place of Su Xing. "You are only true spirits. Your true bodies are still inside Maiden Mountain. After you climb the mountain, Qingxi, promise me that you will guarantee Yingmei and the others will be safe and sound." Su Xing sternly said. Song Qingxi stared blankly at Su Xing. "Promise me." Su Xing shouted. Song Qingxi's tears spilled once again. The leader star did not dare look at him again. "Allow me." Gong Kaiwei stepped forth. "You cannot throw your life away. I will go." Zhao Hanyan and Shiyu also said. "You should let a man take care of something like this." Su Xing smiled, unafraid of death. In the end, he looked at all his wives, sweeping his gaze from Lin Yingmei over them one by one, over each girl. Even Lu Zhao's eyes were red and puffy. Finally, he glanced deep into his mind, but Su Xing did not look for long. If he looked any longer, he was afraid he would never leave, unwilling to sacrifice his life. Therefore, Su Xing charged towards Shixian's final blood grounds without the slightest hesitation. "You must return, Shower still has not shared a bed with you." Lu Xiao shouted with all her might from behind. All sound completely vanished. All of the girls had pained expressions. Chao Gai sighed heavily. Li Shishir was even moved. She never imagined that Su Xing would sacrifice himself to oblige Song Jiang. The splendid star's heart ached, and the phoenix flames dispersed, transforming her back into a maid whose crimson pupils leaked 2 streams of tears. "This cannot be." Song Qingxi looked at her heavenly star birth banner. Suddenly recalling Su Xing's words from before, the girl was immediately resolute. Borrowing the Justice on Heaven's Behalf banner, Su Xing entered the final blood grounds. That was a world of endless blood. Shixian was even more out of reach than the 9 firmaments. The blood of Liangshan continent's countless creatures was sucked into the blood grounds, gathering around Shixian. Su Xing cursed and flew towards her. It was like flying across several thousand li. Su Xing was already finding it difficult to advance an inch. The surrounding blood was viscous, and flight was already at its limit. Su Xing exercised his star energy at full power. Star crests flickered endlessly upon his forehead as he attempted to break through the sea of blood. The power of Shixian's heaven rank was incomparably frightening. Su Xing felt his consciousness currently ebbing. "Shit, if I keep on going like this, I'll die before I even get close to her." Su Xing strained to maintain his consciousness, flying little by little towards the 9 firmaments, but progress was becoming harder and harder. Suddenly, Su Xing caught sight of a golden brocaded woman. The figure of strength star Jade Qilin Lu Xiao appeared before him. The girl beamed widely, reaching her hand out and pulling Su Xing. "Husband, Shower is still waiting to share a bedroom with you, you have to come back alive." The girl waved her hand, powerful energy entered Su Xing's body. His originally stagnating body immediately soared far upwards. At the same time the Jade Qilin star crest on his forehead faded, Su Xing's figure stopped. Then, Yin star Gutong's figure appeared behind him. Female tiger's roar let out an ear-splitting sound wave. "Go, my man. Tang Tang cannot be without you." The power of the sound wave launched Su Xing upwards. Rat Star Daylight Rat by Yutang waited with teary eyes as she pitifully gazed at her papa. The little loli grabbed Su Xing's finger with all her might. Su Xing understood her intentions, immediately entering the 9 firmaments blood grounds. The fourth to appear was Hero Star Little Li Guang Hua Wanyue. The graceful woman's face wore a confident grin. She elegantly seized Su Xing, once again pushing Su Xing through the shackles of the sea of blood. Following Su Xing's figure with her eyes, the phantom of the graceful woman very quickly faded. "I am waiting for you, my lord." Immediately following Hua Wenyue's appearance was harm star pilgrim Wu Xiao. Su Xing and the cool and elegant pilgrim stared at each other. Words were not needed between them. Wu Xiao's long black hair poured down like a torrent, and she sent Su Xing flying even higher. His 11th star general damage star white stripe in the waves Zhang Yuqi hugged Su Xing, flying upwards as she liked like a mermaid in the sea of blood. Although her figure was fleeting, Su Xing still could sense the warmth in the girl's heart. To have been able to know young Su Yuqi is truly fortunate. Shi Xian grew closer and closer. At the same time the sea of blood was becoming clearer and clear, it brought even greater pressure. Su Xing entered something even more difficult. Gentle and beautiful, the misty and melancholic figure of a beautiful woman appeared in the sea of blood, an absolute beauty that would make a person practically forget this scene of blood. Bright star 10 feet of blue was gentle, speaking with tenderness, "Wife is willing to share life and death with dear husband." The young woman used these feelings are endless lasso to wrap around Su Xing's arm, bringing him into the 5th layer of the 9 firmaments blood grounds. Solitary star Lu Shaking was the 8th to appear. The woman's face was calm and unmoved, but her expression was showing clear longing. The powerful Lu Shaking used all of her power to fling Su Xing into a higher sky. Then, the next to lend her power was solitary star Tang Lianxin. Powerful killing intent suddenly burst out of the bloodlight filling the sky, stopping Su Xing's progress, forcing him down. Skillful star Yan Yizhen and thief star Shi Yuan appeared on Su Xing's left and right at the same time. The girls dutifully used their powers at the same time. "This young lady is but your 3rd star general but hasn't done that with you yet, Su Xing. This young lady is very unreconciled." Shi Yuan's gloomy voice echoed inside his mind. Final blood ground's 4th layer of blood light manifested countless swordlights to skewer Su Xing. An exceedingly refined loli abruptly appeared and swept away this tidal wave of swordlight. The girl gently pulled Su Xing's hand. Su Xing progressed to the 3rd layer. Efficacious star and Suan welcomed Su Xing into the 3rd layer. When Su Xing was already unable to take another step, the star crest on his forehead glowed once again. Knowledge star Wu Xinjie was before him. "Yingmei is waiting for you." Finally, a white light flashed in front of him. Ice and frost that was different from everything else appeared in the sea of blood. Majestic star panther head Lin Yingmei looked at Su Xing. The girl hugged him and lowered her head into a deep kiss. Remembering their meeting back then on the clear wilderness highlands, it seemed like yesterday that the girl said those words. "From this day forth, I, panther head Ling Chong, am your woman, young master. Yingmei doesn't want these star duels. I only want you, young master," Lin Yingmei softly said. With a clear and distinct shout, the girl used all her strength to send Su Xing up the 9 firmaments. Shi Xian was invulnerable. Under the help and resonance of his 12 wives, Su Xing finally broke through the last layer of the final blood grounds that no one could shake. But this was still not enough. The last sea of blood was like a giant dam, locked in front of Su Xing, giving him no way forward. All of a sudden, a green light blossomed upon Su Xing's chest. Zhao Hanyan's figure unexpectedly appeared at his side. Zhao Hanyan slightly smiled, and a green light emerged resplendent. This was the 1000-year Pack's intertwined branch swords. The intertwined branch swords erupted with an unimaginable resonance, throwing open the sea of blood's gate. Finally, the Chai Ling who ingested the together to hell appeared. The queen used her lofty attitude to finally send Su Xing into open space. Boom! The endless sea of blood released an ancient air. Above the sea of blood, the Shi Xian who slayed gods stood imposing before him. The girl's eyes were completely red. Through the 1,000 li of crimson blood, she was shocked to see Su Xing surprisingly break through her heaven rank's domain layer by layer. This was something even Her Highness would have found difficult to do. Even so, what can you do? I shall bury Liangshan continent with you. Shi Xian viciously malevolently shouted. The sea of blood churned and gathered into her sword, released an intense crimson light, enshrouding all of Liangshan continent's 4 territories in terror. Su Xing raised the Justice on Heaven's behalf uprising banner, prepared to end things in mutual destruction, but just at this moment, Song Qingxi's figure strangely appeared. The girl waved the heavenly star birth banner, saying, Lord Su, please climb the mountain together with Qingxi. The two of them became one. In an instant, Su Xing's mind shook. Su Xing attacked Shi Xian barehanded. To unexpectedly think of facing her heaven rank without a weapon, that was to die without a grave. Shi Xian sneered, prepared to strike, but at this moment, there was a sudden change. Light after light fell into the space around Su Xing. Each of these lights was unexpectedly a star weapon. Golden Immortal Link Life Ring, Extreme Vast Blue Emperor Saber, 7 Colors Goose Feather Saber, Frost Moon Ruinous Light, Frost Magnificence Shining Moon Saber. Regardless of whether they were friend, foe, or even partner, the star weapons of all star maidens appeared around Su Xing. Lin Yingmei and the others were astonished to sense the power in their own star weapons. The girls glanced at each other. Without any hesitation, they released their star weapons. Arctic Star Serpent Spear, Golden Qilin Lance, Noble Frost Demonic Lotus, Golden Wind and Jade Dew, and more star weapons rose straight up, entering the sea of clouds and surrounding Su Xing. Not only them, but Xian Yunshang also felt her star weapon stir. The demons and monsters' bow and arrow were released without hesitation. Dong Junqing, Zhu Sha, and Zhang Feiyu's star weapons followed suit, as well as the star weapons Xiao Hanyan had obtained. Rainbows flew around Maiden Mountain, gathering continuously towards Su Xing. It seemed all the star maidens' star weapons had been summoned, stunning even Chao Gai. Su Xingxiang walked barefoot over the dunes, already nearing Maiden Mountain. A red light flew from behind her directly up to the sea of blood in the sky. Su Xingxiang did not understand what was happening, but she sensed that the star weapons in her astral bag from the defeated star maidens were all stirring. Su Xingxiang hesitated for a moment, as if sensing something. She pointed her hand. In the end, she released these star weapons. White Knight Dragon Carving Sword, Golden Hooked Soul Snatching Lance, 100,000 Flame Dragon Axe, asking directions to the underworld stones, and others became different colored lights that flew into the 9 firmaments. This is, Shi Xian stared wide-eyed, not daring to believe this. 108 star weapons appeared in Su Xing's surroundings. These star weapons then manifested their respective masters. Yang Zijin held the vast blue Emperor Saber, Guaning held the purple brilliant reclining moon blade, Shi Xiuxiu held the 7 colors goose feather saber, Lu Qing'er held the blaze refining 9 hells saber, and even Houndstar's golden immortal linked life ring manifested a cute girl to hold it. Whether they once battled Su Xing or inadvertently fell or were even Su Xing's star generals. Although they were mere specters, each maiden the 108 star weapons manifested was shockingly vivid and lifelike. Romance of the world. Shi Xian was stunned, her whole body shaking. Impossible, impossible, the woman shouted, immediately wielding heaven rank final blood grounds. Su Xing similarly waved his hand. Maiden Mountain's 108 star maidens became a heaven-overwhelming attack that met with Shi Xian's heaven-rank final blood grounds. Bloodlight and starlights clashed with each other, submerging the world, spreading through the 4 territories. All of Liangshan continent's creatures fell over one after another, only feeling overwhelmed, spitting blood. The bloodlight filling the skies finally faded. The world was clear. Shi Xian stiffly gazed at Su Xing standing before her, not daring to believe that her heaven rank surprisingly failed at the last moment. Those 108 star maiden phantoms behind Su Xing were like an invincible army. Is this the existence that Empress has been searching for? Shi Xian thought. Henceforth, I leave her highness to you. Shi Xian's eyes dimmed, and she became dust, leaving behind only that faded phoenix splitter that cried in clear morning. A kind of indescribable pain filled Su Xing's heart. Su Xing looked back at those 108 star maiden true spirits behind him, nodding to them. These girls slightly smiled, and their true spirits vanished, leaving behind their star weapons. Su Xing returned to Maiden Mountain. His wives were already waiting for him, breathing sighs of relief when they saw he was unhurt. Lin Yingmei embraced Su Xing, giving him a passionate kiss in front of everyone's eyes. Is everything over? Su Xing said. Song Qingzi and Xian Yunshang walked over. Su Xing furrowed his brow. What's the matter? Chao Gai wanted to speak but hesitated. She sighed. Song Qingzi is the uprising. The uprising and contracts cannot climb the mountain at the same time. What do you mean? Su Xing's gaze turned cold. His killing intent even began to chill Chao Gai. Then is there no need to climb the mountain? The star duels will be like this? Lin Yingmei asked. Of course, the girl already did not mind this. Then your servant shall leave the star duels to Lord Su. Lord Su cares far more about our sisters than Qingzi has. Song Qingzi smiled. In truth, so long as Qingzi's uprising sisters all leave, the uprising can also dissolve. Chao Gai said. Everyone was taken aback. At present, the only sister in Song Qingzi's uprising ugly prince consort Xian Yunshang let out a laugh. Yunshang said long ago that I should not have joined elder sister's uprising. This has become an impediment. I won't kill you. Su Xing shook his head. Now that things had reached this stage, Su Xing did not want to see any more grief, especially like this. There is no need to be distressed at all. So long as efficacious star divine physician comprehends heaven rank rise from the dead, even a true spirit can be resuscitated. Chao Gai advised. Stop talking. Su Xing interrupted her. Xian Yunshang laughed. Walking before Su Xing ugly prince consort's beautiful face was filled with a complex gaze. I feel this is not bad. To be frank, Yunshang should have followed the other sisters. Xian Yunshang, do you still remember that Yunshang owes you a kiss from back at the Crystal Dragon Palace's banquet? How about this, if you climb the mountain and end the star duels, if Yunshang is still alive then, I will repay you. Xian Yunshang smiled. With things already at the present stage, can it be you would throw everything away because of an outsider like me? Are you worthy of those sisters then? Ugly Prince Consort shook her head to stop Su Xing from dissuading her. Yunshang is a wisp of a dream, a flower tribute yet carefree, awaken our sisterhood. May we gather in Star World. Xian Yunshang gazed at the sky, slowly reciting. Her figure very quickly faded, and her crimson star fell into Su Xing's body, leaving behind her demons and monsters. Everyone wept silently. Song Qingzi's head hurt. Following Xian Yunshang's star release, the uprising announced its defeat. Your servant apologizes to sisters. Song Qingzi regretted her past deeds. Enough of this for now. Did Chao Gai not already say? As long as you climb the mountain, we can have Suan resurrect everyone. Wu Xinjie consoled her. Now would be best to sign a contract with young master, Qingzi. Lin Yingmei said. Su Xing walked over. Song Qingzi closed her eyes. Su Xing lowered his head and kissed Song Qingzi's lips. The girl's body shuddered, a moan broke out of her throat. A crimson star ignited in the sky. Is our husband a kiss demon? Lu Xiao asked the sisters. All of the girls blushed with shame. And now, the heavens currently had only 7 crimson stars in existence, just perfect for the 7 stars assembly. No, there was still one missing. Everyone turned their gazes to the last star maiden in the 9th star duels, noble star little whirlwind Chai Ling watched by scorching, attentive gazes. Chai Ling's face was thoroughly red. The queen bashfully lowered her eyes. We weren't able to shock the world this time, but Linger, are you willing to be my wife? Su Xing tenderly asked. If this palace cannot be your first, then this palace shall be your last. Chai Ling said almost inaudibly. Everyone snickered. The two of them kissed. This was already not their first deep kiss, so they kissed considerably intensely. Right, this palace is now your last wife, right? Chai Ling shyly stared. Chai Ling, I fear your dream has come to nothing. Zhao Hanyan stifled a laugh. Just at this moment, a white light appeared in the sky. Fang Mojia and Wu Konghou appeared. Everyone seemed like they were about to face a great enemy. Fang Mojia looked at that phoenix splitter in Su Xing's hand, somewhat sad, but the girl still said, Major, please cherish her well. Mojia shall wait for you in Star World. N. Su Xing cautiously responded. Fang Mojia looked at Su Xing's wives and smiled. The girl turned and entered Maiden Mountain. Your Highness Mojia, wait for us. We want to follow you. Muzu, we can finally go home. Take Koito ran over. Yusuji Muzu also departed. Thank you. Su Xing indicated his gratitude. Yusuji Muzu glanced out of the corner of her eyes, her gaze beautiful yet cold. The woman nodded, her hair flowing like water as she entered Maiden Mountain. Never imagined you actually would kill Shi Xian. Amazing. That Fang Mojia is truly formidable. Your humble servant was unable to best her no matter what I did. Wu Konghou showed a forthright smile. Linger, you finally got a man who wants you. Not bad, not bad. Sister Konghou. Chai Ling blushed. Suddenly, Chai Ling noticed the atmosphere was somewhat tense. She saw everyone had grave expressions. As the 8th Overlord, if your humble servant does not die, you cannot climb the mountain either. Wu Konghou shrugged. Senior. Chai Ling's expression changed. Qilint's blood shines red, white wave raises golden wind, bright moon's inviting cup intoxicates a night. The broken arrow beauty plucks the Konghou. The sound is faint for a millennium. Without her, your lifetime is nothing but a dream of golden millet. Wu Konghou slightly smiled. Now, this verse has only your humble servant left. Can it be you are unable to sign a contract? Chai Ling anxiously asked. The answer was naturally, impossible. The 8th Wu Song did not belong to the 9th star duels at all. A contract was naturally a delusion, and because of her existence, the others were unable to climb the mountain even during the 7 stars assembly. Broken arrow beauty plucks the Konghou. Then allow me. Hua Wanyue walked out, holding the red jade star-splitting short spear. Good, en garde. Wu Konghou smiled. Their body techniques flashed. Rushing over, Hua Wanyue's twin short spears were in hand. 2 sword lights stabbed, and Hua Wanyue deflected them both. The hero's star moved with a wonderful pace, evading the 9-star Noble Frost demonic lotus attack. The woman gracefully thrust her short spear. A scene no one imagined then occurred. Wu Konghou did not dodge or evade, allowing the spears to pierce into her body. Senior Konghou. Everybody was taken aback, not expecting that Wu Konghou would give up. Your humble servant's wish has already been fulfilled. There is no reluctance to part. It is time for your humble servant to go see her. Wu Konghou naturally referred to her life and death companion in the 8th star duel, Pantherhead Lin Qingxue, who nevertheless died at the very end. Now, Su Xing's growth and maturation had already reached a stage that even Wu Konghou was left in his dust. In possession of the smiling killing immortal's phoenix splitter sword, Wu Konghou believed this man could complete his own wish in Star World. Although it was a bit of a pity she could not personally go see Star World, but at the very least, she had witnessed a legend. Everyone harbored sublime respect for this predecessor. Wu Konghou finally faded. Su Xing stood below Maiden Mountain, waiting for the 7 stars assembly. Zhao Hanyan, Shiyu, and Gong Kaiwei were beside him. Long Nu very quickly awoke from the bright moon longevity palace and descended to the base of the mountain, a bit taken aback to see Su Xing. Su Xingxiang kept some distance between them. Her sinister methods using the 10,000 souls parasol made the group somewhat hostile towards her. However, in the end, she did lend a hand by releasing star weapons to help Su Xing accomplish the unprecedented romance of the world. They could only strategize about the rest of these things after they climbed the mountain. This princess wonders who the last one is. Zhao Hanyan looked at the last crimson star in the sky. Su Xing was lost in thought as he looked at the twin daggers' frost moon ruinous light in his hands, very regretful and heartbroken. We will definitely meet again in Maiden Mountain. Lin Yingmei held Su Xing's hand. We will definitely meet again, Su Xing resolutely said. Very quickly, from far away, girl with flaming hair and eyes cautiously approached, very unwillingly arriving at the foot of the mountain. She was frightened to see Su Xing and the others. Upon seeing this girl, Su Xing could not help but break into a smile. She was none other than the girl he met back at the Vermilion Bird Territory, Flame Princess Tuoba Yen. Rongxin, this is goodbye for us. Tuoba Yen sniffled. Whole star fiery-eyed Swan and I Deng Rongxin grabbed her enraged heavenly starfire hammer and said, You will have to kill me first. Zhao Hanyan blinked, feeling the pair was quite adorable. Their original contract had long lost its function, however, Su Xing had quite the favorable impression of her. Su Xing smiled, Tuoba Yen, let's climb the mountain together. Huh, you know me. Tuoba Yen cast a bewildered look. You are that man. Deng Rongxin was slack-jawed. Su Xing smiled and turned around. Wives, are you ready? Su Xing asked them. Let's shock Star World. All of the girls smiled. Then, everyone entered Maiden Mountain. Once they entered Maiden Mountain, a fog surrounded them from left and right. Su Xing felt his body become very light, ascending upwards directly. As he ascended, Su Xing caught sight of stars filling the heavens, seemingly within reach. Those bright, glittering stars unfolded into a Milky Way as gorgeous as a portrait. The images of all sorts of outstandingly beautiful young women ceaselessly stared at him, some with overwhelming heroic spirit, some as mysterious as the ocean, some with gentleness like jade, and others with peerless gracefulness. The women of this originally fuzzy image now appeared with clarity. The one with overwhelming heroic spirit was Lin Yingmei, the one as mysterious as the ocean was Wu Xinjie, the one with gentleness like jade was Song Qingxi, and the one with peerless gracefulness was Wu Xiao. Su Xing was overwhelmed, warmth filling his heart. It turned out when he had intruded into Liangshan continent, they had already formed a chain. The passageway to Star World had neither time nor length. Su Xing knew that the path ahead would still be very long and very arduous, however, Su Xing did not mind at all. He knew that there were still people waiting for him atop Maiden Mountain. Waiting to meet him again. Epilogue. 100 years later. Emperor Liang watched the sky above the mountains and rivers pavilion, showing regretful expressions like the rest of the people living in Liangshan continent. However, he was nevertheless somewhat elated. His current cultivation had already reached transforming star of annihilation. It was not much longer before he could go to Star World and see Su Xing again. I wonder if daughter is well. Emperor Liang walked to a divination pavilion. A purple-haired girl was currently spellbound as she looked at the sky. Her fair posture was not lacking in a young woman's beauty. Her cultivation had also astonishingly reached transforming star of annihilation. The star duels did not manifest. It appears Su Xing actually did it, he has ended the star duels, ha, ha. Emperor Liang smiled. The girl turned around, revealing a face that could destroy a nation. Shockingly, she was none other than Humi knew that he would achieve it. Humi toyed with her hair, faintly smiling. Her thoughts could not help but return to that star duel 100 years ago. At the end, a completely unexpected tear of Vega descended, annulling her contract, turning her into the first person since the 9th Star Duel's 7-star assembly to break free of the star duels. Jingshu, you must be waiting for me. Humi softly said. Ha, ha, we are honestly very eager to see what kind of scene Su Xing is causing in Star World. Emperor Liang was very curious. Humi smiled. She also wanted to see him very much. She imagined that Su Xing crossed Star World unimpeded. It was said that Star World had millions of star names. Perhaps he has seduced a few innocent young ladies, or perhaps he has made that immature empress fume to the point of tears and tantrum, or perhaps he has conquered all of Star World. But no matter what, that was another story entirely. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you enthusiasts for all your support, and to all of you who left or asked for returns, Little Ice would like to express heartfelt apologies, especially to Xue Mingxi, 843315536, for supporting me every day, every month with your millions of votes. I am so ashamed that I still disappointed you at the very end. Also, Mujia, your 108-star Maidens materials is truly outstanding. Maiden Mountain lasted a very long time, and a lot of times, I relied on your materials to cut down on some time. There was one time that you were late that I thought how Bingxin did not have an Earth rank. The result was that I gave her a second Earth rank. Ha, I look forward to your last material on 108-star Maidens. Lastly, I'll talk about some moment when Maiden Mountain left a very deep impression. I remember when I first started Maiden Mountain, I didn't really think too much and only had a few simple settings. It was only later amidst your discussions that something more developed slowly formed. The most coincidental was Song Jiang. Originally, Song Jiang was planned to be the second to appear, as Song Lu. Later, she was suddenly changed to Wu Xinjie. Afterwards, Child of the Sea wrote a comment pertaining to Song Jiang. As a result, they facilitated Maiden Mountain's most important plot point about Song Jiang ending the star duels. There are more inspirations that I won't mention. In short, today's Maiden Mountain is because of you all. As for the ending, I feel it was really good. The main character has already defeated Star World's strongest enemy, and because this is a story about the star duels of Maiden Mountain's 108-star maidens, the star duels ending in this volume is also the conclusion. As for what happens up in Star World, I'll leave a little of that to your imagination. Perhaps later I will write a sequel dealing with Star World, using the main character to recount Su Xing's story in Star World. The Star World setting is quite interesting, but don't wait on that. Over the past 3 years, the up and down and on and off updates broke a lot of hearts. I was a step off in quality and frequency to send Maiden Mountain into this honorable hall of quality regulars. Regarding this, I express my regrets to the friends who spared no effort in their support. Over the past 3 years, the up and down state of affairs is still waiting for Little Ice to show gratitude to our newest friends. Thank you all for not leaving. Now you can finally breathe a long sigh of relief. I myself am not fond of speaking for too long. In short, I am very thankful for everyone who expressed their support, now or in the past. Thank you. See you again. Liked it?